So you're telling me there's a chance?
Are you going to me?
I would certainly like to.
Hold it! Billy, I need your help, man. All right. Axel!
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
World-class Bullshitters live on a Tuesday night. This is the Tuesday Takedown. And tonight, I'm joined by a co-host from another universe. One where he thinks that Richard Donner is still alive. All the way from the Ripverse. Say hello to Andy Andrew.
I'm catching strays and I ain't been here for 35 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. You are, but what do you expect?
That's rude.
Tuesday night. So, folks, I realized I didn't introduce myself, but if you subscribe to the channel, you already know who I am. But I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and tonight we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff in the world of pop culture. This is not an Odyssey episode. It's just a catchy title card. No, all joking aside, we'll get to all that and a whole lot more. Folks, we have a big show planned for you because it's been 3 weeks since we've last been here, and I have missed every week we haven't been live. But we had travel issues, timing issues, scheduling issues, and this week we said, screw it, no matter who shows up, we're going live for Tuesday night. So, folks, thank you for joining. Hit that thumbs up button on the way in and join me for all things world-class here on this channel each and every day. Now, if you haven't checked out today's video on the new Spaceballs poster, check it out. It's not really a comment on Spaceballs. Is Spaceballs in on the joke, or is it the joke? Watch the video, find out, and tell me down in the comments below what you think. But tonight, we're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's actually happening. This Warner Brothers Paramount merger, and, of course, the Odyssey, and a whole lot more. But before we start any of that world-class content, let's start saying hello to all of our wonderful guests in the chat. We have superfan Adam Shawhan, the first member of the WCBS Hall of Fame. So, folks, if you haven't seen that episode, go back into the archives if it's still live for everyone and check it out. Superfan Adam Shawhan's been a fan for a long time, and maybe you can become a Hall of Famer. All you got to do is hang out on the show and be a part of WCBS. But we are not only saying hi to superfan Adam Shawhan. We have my great that's great. Hey, how you doing? We got Micro Cool. We got Kaiju Expert Al, of course, Clone Geek. We have Ramy Butler, Nathan Simmons, Shrebbles08, and a whole lot more, like Fun University. So, folks in the chat, thank you very much. Keep those comments coming. We're going to be paying attention to you guys all night long. Now, Andrew, we're going to get to the word of the day in a minute, but we're going to let Script get here first. I wanted to bring up something. Shrebbles08 says, hey, Andrew, Sam Neill died. Now, I'm hoping that you were aware of this news when it happened yesterday, correct?
Yes, I sadly was.
So I woke up to the news, and my first thought was, oh, man, Sam Neill, because he's just a good actor. He's a guy everybody seemed to like. And I didn't know if you knew this, but he was almost cast as James Bond, and there's a screen test of it. Have you ever seen
learned that today. I haven't seen the screen test, but I did hear about it today.
So I'm going to show you an image. I'm not going to be able to play it for copyright reasons because we got dinged really hard for that chest hair skit we played. So we have to be extra careful with YouTube and their new rules. But here's a picture of that. Of course, he's legendary for Jurassic Park. He's known for Event Horizon. He's been in countless films, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy all around. But I always look at him as a what if. What if he was James Bond instead of Timothy Dalton? And, I mean, I like T-Dalton. He was great. But I wouldn't have been mad if Sam Neill played James Bond at some point.
What's kind of crazy is, like, facial structure-wise and the way his hair is here, you could really honestly believe he's in, like, similar or same continuity to Freaking why am I completely retarded today? Connery, yeah, Sean Connery. Like, he has a similar look in his eyes, similar look to his face. I think he could have pulled it off, and like you mentioned earlier, he's a genuinely good actor. He's got actually pretty wide range to his acting chops. So that would have been an interesting what if for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another what if. What if the one, the only Mr. Aaron Sparrow joined us live? What's up, Aaron?
Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
Pretty not bad.
Yeah, it's an exciting night, man. I told Andrew in the chat earlier, like, I missed you guys the last 2 weeks, so I got 2 weeks of pent-up energy. There's something to do on a Tuesday night finally, so...
I'm in a really good mood this week. Like, everything is, I mean, Supergirl has bombed. Moana has bombed. I'm hopeful that the Odyssey's going to bomb. Like, you know, it just looks like everything is like the universe is finally kind of like trying to right itself.
It definitely has felt like normalization has been happening for the last few months. I'd say 2026 has kind of got us back on track for normalcy. Like, Star Wars shit the bed. People are waking up to garbage entertainment, but quality stuff like Project Hail Mary is rising above. So, you know.
Yeah, although I do think there is a danger with stuff like Project Hail Mary. You'll see it in Project Hail Mary. You'll see it in the new James Bond game. What they're doing now is they're not backing off of DEI, but what they're doing is they're like, fine, you guys want your white male leads, you can have them. But everyone else in the film will be a diverse person of color, and they'll all be smarter than the lead. So like in Project Hail Mary, yeah, you got Ryan Gosling. He's the affable kind of goofy white guy, but he's not as smart as all the people that are going to send him into space, who are all women and people of color. And then the James Bond game, you know, you start it up, and what's the first thing you run into? You run into like a female chess master. You run into, you just start running into people that are like, okay, well, we're going to populate everything with all of the DEI hires and put them in roles that like, oh, here's a female inventor / scientist to go along with all of the female inventor / scientists that exist in real life.
So you're telling me I dodged a bullet by having a hiccup with that James Bond game, and I've never purchased it. So
yeah, it's also really dumbed down gameplay. I played it at a friend's house. I didn't get like too deep into it. I actually just played it over there today. I went by to drop some stuff off, and he was like, "Hey, you want to try out the new James Bond game?" And I was like, "Sure." And I gave it a few minutes and was like, "Yeah, I'm good with this."
This is the best comment ever. Female chess player, did we lose the war?
Wow. That's wild.
When I think of chess masters, I think of Kronstein from Russia with Love. You know, an interesting character who was a Spectre agent, but also so was Rosa Klebb. You know, I saw this painting the other day when I was helping a friend move. It was for Libra. It was the scales. They really need to balance this shit out because, you know, you might have one character be accurate, but if the rest of the world's kind of annoying, people are going to eventually stop. Like, I'm worried about GTA. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not worried. I don't give a shit. I'm interested to see how GTA 6 handles this situation because, you know, people in the gaming industry all suck. So we're probably going to get more of that stuff into it. But
well, here's the problem: is so you have your successful game developers that don't suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when these other AAA developers go under, and then they hire cast-offs, the activists who infected that company and brought it to the ground, and then those people get filtered into the more successful games. It's just the parasites just kind of like trickle off to other hosts and start infecting them until they kill off that host as well. So it's something to be wary about. You know, it's like I watched The Queen's Gambit and I enjoyed it. Just speaking of female chess geniuses, you know, it was a fine movie, and I'm not saying that that you can't have women in roles like that. I'm just saying that like when it becomes so obvious that your brain, it's like the Red Letter Media Mike saying you didn't notice it, but your brain did, where you just start to go, something here is off. Like, I loved The Sheep Detectives. I thought that was a fantastic film this year, a lot of fun.
Same.
But when you're watching The Small English Town and you're like, this is a very diverse small English town, you know, and then you just kind of like roll your eyes, or like in the How to Train Your Dragon remake, where not only are there, you know, Vikings of color, so you're already going, okay, I know why these are here, but then they have to take a moment to say, and you from the something Isles, and you from blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, now you're over-explaining it So
Yeah.
whereas before I just rolled my eyes, now I'm just actively groaning.
Vikings of Color is our new punk rock band, Aaron. Like,
Oh man, yeah,
Andrew,
that'd be cool.
Can you be the drummer? I'll play bass. Aaron, you sing. You got that
All right.
energy.
All right, I'll grow my beard out more, and I'll get some of those braids in it.
Yeah. Nordic rock. We're bringing it back, folks. As soon as Script Doctor gets here, I want to share something with you guys, everybody watching live, because we always talk about stuff that's crap, but I found something that's, put it like this. I had an Andrew-sized hole in my filmography there was a film I had never seen, and I finally saw it, and it changed a lot for me. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
We're just gonna slide past the fact that my name was used as a pejorative.
Anybody in the chat find that offensive? Press 1 if you do.
My God in heaven.
Well, look, let's get to the word of the day because it comes with a fun button, but you're talking about some of this diversity stuff. Well, our friend Andy Serkis has said a few things that might ruffle some feathers, but I want to hear what you guys say because, again, it kind of points to normalcy this way, 3 miles, so we're real close. But since you guys have been on the show, we have introduced a new $10 button. Every time we get a $10 button, this video has to play, mainly to troll Dion, but it's kind of unsettling. So, folks, we'll get to the word of the day in just a minute, but here is your button.
Peter. The horse is here.
Hello, Dion.
That's great and unnerving.
I'm glad I get the approval of you guys. Dion walked out when I pressed it, so.
I bet he did.
That was the only one I put that much effort into.
So have we ever established in the lore why Dion fears horses?
Oh, yeah, I know the answer. It's silly. Because Christopher Reeve was paralyzed by a horse. And if a horse can hurt Superman, a horse can hurt Dion. That is literally the answer he gave me.
But a horse didn't hurt Superman. A horse hurt Christopher Reeve.
I know, but a horse, Superman, Christopher Reeve, same dude, man. Put on the glasses, fly, whatever. It's the same guy to Dion, but that is the reason he gives. And then mannequins is just like, I don't like them. So.
I mean, when I was a kid, I was... I saw my uncle get kicked by a horse in the stomach, and I also was on a horse that somebody let go, and through no fault of the horse. Like I was sitting on the horse's back. We had 2 horses. We had a male horse. We had a female horse. And I was sitting on the male horse's back, and the person, I can't remember who it was, but they unhooked the tether, from the bridle, and he turned and ran, wanting to go see the female horse. It's like he was excited to get back to her. So I was on the back with like no saddle and everything, hanging off the side, holding onto the hair, like onto the mane, just watching like these thundering hooves, which seemed like forever before I finally was like, my feet hit the side and I pushed off and like landed in the mud and didn't get trampled. But, then he ran off and I like knocked the wind out of myself, which was pretty scary as a kid. But like, I'm not scared of horses now. Like I wasn't even scared of horses a week later.
Dude, when we went to New Orleans, we saw mules on Bourbon Street, and Dion crossed the road to get away from the mules. So, I mean, any kind of 4-legged hoofed creature is on his no list.
Oh, man. Mules are so cool.
I thought Indiana Jones on a horse was epic. Batman on a horse was epic. Horses are majestic creatures, but apparently they scared the life out of my best buddy. So I guess we won't be going... What do friends do on horseback that's not like Brokeback Mountain level shit? I don't know, but we're not going to do that. Anyway, speaking of Brokeback Mountain, the word of the day is Wang. The Wang Odyssey. Big Wang in Little China. This is a great one. Jurassic Wang. A few Wangs more. Freddy got wanged. Live free or Wang hard. Stop or my Wang will shoot. And Beverly Hills Wang.
Stop or my wing will shoot is crazy.
I love it.
So Jeff, when you've traveled out here to Southern California, you've been to Frankensons, the nerd ball.
Yeah, when I lived out there, I went.
Yeah, okay. So,
I got a friend who works there.
Oh, do you really? Oh, you have to tell me who it is so I can go say hi. So, when you're driving to Frank and Son Collectible Show, there is a lot of billboards for James Wang Law. And so the running joke has become, it's just an Asian guy that's up there, James Wang, But the joke has become that his name is James, but the way the sign is set up, he practices Wang Law. So it's like, you can just imagine the commercial. Hi, I'm James. Did you take it out at a park in front of some children? Hey, call me. I defend you. I'm James. I practice Wang Law.
It's better than Bird Law.
My God.
I know, right? I clearly missed out on some quality California entertainment.
That's right. It's dumb shit that we say to entertain each other.
Oh, believe me, there's a lot of dumb shit in that state. I lived through a lot of it. But, yay for In-N-Out Burger.
I've got one of those less than 5 minutes away.
I got one about 5 hours away. I can go down to Tennessee if I really want. But they opened a Shake Shack near me, so I'll just go to Shake Shack instead.
I've got
Shake
two
Shack's
with
pretty good.
I've got two within 5 minutes, depending on which direction I go.
Yeah, but there's not a homeless person as far as the eye can see where I currently live.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. And you got to pass some either way to get to the In-N-Out Burger.
Dude, when I lived where I lived, you had to go out on the main street, and then you would walk. It was just like 2 or 3 blocks. It wasn't a long walk, but there was a long stretch of where there used to be a house or a building, and it was a lot with a fence, and it smelled like peas. So, good luck to everybody out there, but that's no longer my problem. Keep your wang to yourself.
Yeah.
Overkill 161 bringing in more Wang titles with Hong Kong Big Dog Theater presents the Wang and the Beast, the Wang King, Wang Aladdin, the Wangwa featuring the Wang. I mean, Rock. 14, please. I'll get your button in just a second. Since you brought up the Rock, I'm wearing this shirt. I don't know if you noticed it, Aaron.
Oh, I did.
I just randomly had it. I went out to dinner. I was like, I'll just wear this shirt. But
just throw that on before or after seeing the live action Moana.
I still haven't seen that. I haven't seen the last 2 Fast and Furiouses. I haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw. I haven't seen
Hobbs and Shaw was fun.
I saw 2/3 of Hobbs and Shaw. I got to like 2/3 of the way through, and I was like, "Well, I'm full."
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care what happens.
I haven't seen the last 2 Fast and Furious movies, though. I'm just like, I'm over it.
Have you ever seen the interview with the 5-year-old that writes the Fast and Furious movies?
No.
There's this great comedy bit. It's like, we're here with the writer of the Fast and Furious franchise. It pans over, and it's like a 5-year-old kid. And they're like, what was your vision for this? And he's like, I wanted the cars to go fast, and I wanted there to be explosions.
Right. Just 5-year-old play with his Matchbox or his Hot Wheels and saying, and now they go to space. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that sounds like something a 5-year-old would do.
I was actually friends with the dude that approved all those movies. He was my neighbor. He would tell me everything about well, not everything. He told me a lot of stuff, but I'll never tell it on air. But long story short, he's always said that The Rock's a cool dude. Most people seem to hate him. I wanted to ask you guys this, since you guys have your finger on the pulse of entertainment. Is it the lies that caught up with him? Are they mad about the Hawaii thing? Or is this live action Disney shit in the bed finally?
It's probably a little bit of all that, but also, like, let's be real. The Rock has, as much as I love him, he's never been much of a box office draw. Certainly not as, like, the main guy.
He started out with The Scorpion King, which was a hit. But the next 2 were okay. I think they're actually pretty decent movies, but they weren't big hits.
I like the Rundown a lot.
And
that was solid.
Yeah. Gridiron Gang was good. It was really when The Rock did The Tooth Fairy that his career shit the bed and he became a joke. That good Get Smart movie came out. That wasn't very good. And then Southland Tales, that's one of the biggest pieces of crap ever made. And then we finally get to, like, G.I. Joe. He gets this career resurgence because he comes back to wrestling. But I think that it's more him than it is Disney live action. But I hope that The Rock is single-handedly the dude that kills Disney live action movies, because they're terrible.
That would, ironically enough, that would make him the people's champ.
Yes, it would.
He beat Triple H. He beat Stone Cold. He beat Hulk Hogan. Now he beat Disney. The
Rock has not had, realistically, The Rock has not had a hit since he came out and endorsed Biden in 2020. When he got political, that was pretty much the end of him. because people got resentful of it, and then he tied himself to a bunch of things like the Hawaii, like appearing with Oprah as part of that Hawaii scam, the lying, getting caught lying multiple times, the bad reputation coming out on set of like just keeping everybody waiting for hours and hours. Like he's just had a lot of PR disasters, one after the other, and I think it's because at some point, like even CM Punk tells a story about like when he had to wrestle him. And then he goes to meet with him to like discuss it. And he goes, and I'm used to it just being like, two wrestlers sitting in a room. And he goes, but Rock's got all his like PR people there, like who are going to weigh in on it. And he was like, and I was just like, can we just talk, just you and I? And, like who are all these people? And the Rock's like, well, these are the people that I have to kind of like help me deal with these things. And it's just like, yeah, can it just be you and me?
The weird part is like most people don't realize as a wrestler outside of that moment, which here's my hot take. I met CM Punk. He's a cunt. Anything bad that happens to him, I cheer for because he's an asshole. And no, I didn't follow him to an airport. I paid $1,200 to go to a fan WrestleMania thing, and he's a dick. So I don't like him. But as a wrestler, like he always put everybody over. Jeff Hardy, the Hurricane. He constantly. That's the part where I don't mind anybody having hot takes on the acting. I'm not a fan. I think his persona's weird. But like the wrestling,
dude, he kind of put over Alberto Del Rio too, didn't he? Because didn't he drop the title to him?
No, he beat John Cena. Beat him for the belt.
I must be remembering that.
I thought Del Rio came out and took it with after he got powerbombed by Nash. I thought Del Rio came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Money in the Bank, right?
You're talking CM Punk, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said The Rock lost to Del Rio.
No. Punk lost it from Del Rio cashing in. Right?
Yeah, that was Summer of Punk 2011.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I thought you meant The Rock. I was like, wait, no, The Rock just held it till Mania, then lost, and then fucked off for a year, like he always does now. No, but I find it funny. I love to have these conversations online on Twitter. You can follow us. But I wanted to know what you guys thought because I want to know if he'll go the Will Smith route, where Will Smith
I think he's already done. I think he's cooked. He's a real hard-looking 55 in the face, which I think didn't help with this whole Maui thing. It's one thing when it's just his voice and they can animate Maui to be appealing, but when it's Rock and like that wig, I just think that people looked at it and were just like, and again, it's a remake that's like 10 years old, but the larger picture is that, The Rock just, he can't get a hit and he keeps humiliating himself. Remember, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Yeah, that was one of the dumbest things that could have possibly been said. Like the only thing that I was genuinely excited for out of any of that was like when he had like put out the video saying, they were going to bring Henry Cavill back in, and then Henry Cavill did the video. There's like, yeah, I'm coming back to play Superman. And then we got him bright blue and all and smiling at the end of freaking Black Adam. It was the best scene in that movie.
But then he's being summoned by Amanda Waller, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie, first off, I took it personally. The Rock has released Doom and Black Adam on my birthday, and I saw those movies on said birthdays, 17 years apart, and it sucked both times. So
Doom is better than Black Adam.
Yes, it is, but not by much.
At least he could still lose in his contract in that movie. They didn't have to count the punches to make sure he got just as many. That's another thing that came out that I think hurt him. It's like,
based on what I've been told from literally somebody at Universal, some of that shit about him and Vin Diesel, the public has the story flipped. And I don't think this guy would just lie to me to tell me something I want to hear. I've heard way more stories than I'll ever tell because I don't want to get sued, but there's shit I'll tell you off air. It's like the Vin Diesel stuff was the one where I went, that's not the truth. But everything else, like the punches, that's lame. I think I roll my eyes because, again, I only cared about him as a wrestler. It was just like, you didn't do that as a wrestler. You lost more than you'd won. There's a thing that has everybody's percentages. Like Triple H rarely lost. Stone Cold won too much. John Cena won too much. Rock, Undertaker, a couple other guys, they did a lot of jobs for people too. So
yeah, they put a lot of people over.
I think that's the other problem is that it's I think there's no Rock. There's no Dwayne Johnson. Like the Rock is a character who he told us ad nauseum when he came back as the final boss. Like every press conference, it's like he was terrified that people were going to think that he was really that guy because he's like, when you get to play a character like the final boss, and you're like, shut up, just let it be. We know wrestling is a performance. but he was like so terrified that someone might think that he was actually beating Cody Rhodes with a belt and then showing the bloody belt to Cody Rhodes' mom. You know, that like somebody might take that and go, "Oh, The Rock is a mean guy," and he's like, "Well, I can't let that get out. My image, my image."
I was watching wrestling in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, that would have been par for the course. Like, whatever, right? Like, I don't care.
I'm
not one of these soft new gen wrestling fans.
Oh God, and it's weird too because it's weird. The new wrestling fans are the worst because they're
they're
SAWFT. Yeah, he's coming back. You see that,
Cass?
I did not.
Yeah, they announced it last night.
That's awesome.
Your timing's perfect.
That's hilarious.
Oh, all I'll say is this though: that stupid shit The Rock does when he points to his arm, I just go like, oh. Like Aaron, you're a collector.
Oh, like, I got the goosebumps, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's so fake. Like Aaron, you're a collector. You have your certain rules you live by. One thing I always live by is I will buy shit with The Rock if he has hair. If he's bald, he represents this fake version that I don't like. But like over on the shelf, it's literally just shit from 25 years ago. Nothing new. So,
yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like I bought the one recently that they had. It was a Monday Night War Walmart exclusive where he's in the classic shirt.
With the red and black one.
Hair. Yeah. I picked that up. I did pick up the final boss just because I was like, I liked the whole like him being in the bloodline. It was just the fact that he wouldn't shut up, and then the way that ended was terrible with the whole Travis Scott debacle.
Dude, that was the worst WrestleMania ever, and it's one that I intentionally skipped, and I'm glad I did because I'd have been pissed if I paid to see that. I went the following year. This current year it was $100. We got in for super cheap, and it was still a garbage show. But you know, no Travis Scott. At least it was. Was it Randy Orton and Cody? No, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I was
Speaking of Cody Rhodes, I did pick up a Stardust figure today. Because it's the only time I've ever found Cody particularly interesting or entertaining.
Dude, that theme song is on my like playlist, and any wrestling game that I make my character Fred Fucks, it always uses the Stardust theme. So it's just like I love that music. It's so awesome.
I have a song by my friend Jesse Snyder back when you could put your own song on. I had a song by Jesse Snyder that was my creator wrestler. It was all about don't hate me because I'm beautiful, hate me because I'm your girl.
Damn.
Dude, when you could put those custom soundtracks, I always use a Metallica song called No Leaf Clover, but I would chop it up to where it would be like the epic opening and then this specific part because they had all this orchestra. But they'll never license their music in a video games. Well, a non-Guitar Hero game, put it like that.
Well, I mean, I imagine you can still, if you're playing the PC versions, I imagine you can probably still customize your own music. But
you can mod the shit out of those games.
Yeah, and I think that console is going to be the way to go, obviously, with all the shit that Sony's doing. So,
yeah, I was telling Andrew, man, I'm tapping out. I'm not buying a PS6. Don't even own a PS5. Building a PC in 2027. I'll get a super deluxe one that's going to last me like 5 years. So let's press number 14, and then we have a great question that you'll definitely want to talk about too, Aaron. And you know what? Since we're talking about wrestling, here's a button. Overkill. Who can say where the road Aaron, your face was in frame. You're like, oh!
That's how you lose an eye, man.
Yeah.
That is giving 0 Fs is what that is.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb if you ask me. I enjoy.
It's pretty dumb, yeah. Same with like when they, do the stuff with like the thumbtacks on the mat and all that. It's like, okay, like I get it. You're probably juiced up right now to try and not feel that.
Dude, Dixon Cider, shout out to him. The Rock Benoit his career. Just say.
Damn.
Look, I mean, and you kind of love to see it because at one point, like I was all in. I liked The Rock. And now I say I like The Rock. I just don't like Dwayne Johnson. It's just he's so manufactured and so fake, and that's like kind of what the lies kind of brought out is the fact that everything. That's why online I always call him Dwayne the Brand Johnson because he's not a real person anymore. He's a brand surrounded by people who he's like, well, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And he listens to the wrong people. I'm sure it was them that told him, "You got to come out. You got to be political." That's what people are doing now.
It's his ex-wife. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, man. Like, why would you have the woman that you left run your life and her brother? Like, I read his
That
book.
seems like a horrible decision.
Well, it's made him $1 billion, so I guess that's all he cares about. But like, I'm trying to come up with something. Like, I'll say it like this, folks. I like the wrestling, and that shit's still cool to me, the old stuff. I just don't care about the other. That's it. Rock, sorry, dude. If you're cool when I meet you, though, I won't care about the other shit. We had another message from our friend. Kalo2456 says, catch the Hasbro San Diego Comic-Con exclusives being advertised? I have. Gem in the Holograms times Transformers makes me angry. 15 years ago, Clone Wars Ventress would have sold. I haven't seen the other stuff. I've just seen that Spider-Man 3-pack, and I will be on my computer waiting for that stupid Spider-Man cartoon pack to go live.
It's all because of the lizard, right? It's because of the lizard, right? With his weird lizard face.
Who's in the 3-pack?
It's the 67 cartoon, and it's Spider-Man, Lizard, and Doc Ock, right?
No, Spider-Man, Lizard, and Electro.
Electro, that's what it is.
Okay.
But it's the 16 cartoon version, so like there's a really weird head sculpt that matches the cartoon for Lizard, and if you get 2, you can do the Spidey pointing meme.
Which I get that people like that meme. I'm not here to shit on it. I don't like that meme enough that I would actually buy multiples of these toys. Like, I'll get this one because they've never made a 1960s Spider-Man figure, contrary to popular belief. The first Spider-Man figures from like those little bitty ones, but those don't count. And then the Mego is the first like articulated one. That's from the 70s. But,
and that one's well worth it. If only because, I read Twisted Toy Fair Theater and he was on.
Thank you. That's what I was going to bring up. That was the shit right there.
Oh, okay. And it's an actual Legends. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find the whole pack. Hey, here's a picture of all of it, Andrew.
Andrew, I'm sorry that I didn't think of it when I saw that Kid Flash the other day.
Dude, I was literally just about to mention that. You made me so jealous when I saw that because I was just scrolling on my phone and I passed that and I was like, oh, McFarlane Kid Flash. Wait, that doesn't look like the one I have because he put one out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. That's the Christ on Infinite Earths one. And so it's when Wally's a little older, is a little bulkier. And I'm like, that does not look like the McFarlane Kid Flash that I have. And that's why I asked. I was like, is that one new? Because the sculpt looked completely different from what I have. And I had no idea that one had come out. So now I got to figure out how to get one of those because I've been grabbing all of the Flash family figures put out by McFarlane.
I would have grabbed it for you.
The only person that's been putting out characters that nobody else does. Like, I've got freaking Max Mercury. He put out Jay Garrick. He put out Impulse. Like, he's put out. I'm just like holding out hope that I get like a Johnny Quick, and a Jesse. That would make me really happy.
But for all that, he still has not. No company has ever put out a decent selection of the Rogues.
Nope. Not
Andrew, if you send me a picture of what you're looking for, I'll be going out to film some stuff this week, so you can tell me because I'll be looking at my stores.
I don't know if it's a Walmart exclusive, but that's where I saw it.
Okay.
I got quite a few Walmarts in my area. Shut up. Sorry. We are doing well here, Fox Hills. Thank you very much for asking. But yeah, I haven't looked at other Comic-Con exclusives. I will. I'm not that pumped for Comic-Con this year. Like, some years I'm really excited. Like kept up like, oh man, I can't wait for what they're going to announce. Excuse me. But this year, I'll watch it. I'm doing other stuff. The panels never interest me. It's all fake shit anyway. They're never funny. Like, it's kind of lame most of the time. And Marvel's going to just come up with their Hall H bullshit. Oh, look at the Avengers, how great it is. Were you guys pumped? Did that poster get you excited? I just looked at it and went, okay.
When I stopped kind of like caring about it. So I was part of the committee for San Diego for years and years and years, over 20 years. I was working for that con. And where I finally just like got fed up was you would go to the meetings and everybody there was kind of like ensconced in their position. They had long ago lost touch with anything in the industry. But because they were all people who like had never been involved with anything that was perceived as cool, they were like determined to like hang on to this because it's the one thing they could talk about that made them seem cool. but you could never get anything past them. You're like, hey, I got some ideas for some programming. You're like, here's some up and coming stuff that is catching on and getting popular. And it was always like, no, I don't think we're gonna do that. And then what would they have? They'd have like more panels. It's like women in comics. There's like 6 panels for that. There's like 12 panels for LGBT in comics. And it's like you used to just have a couple, and like you'd get a decent turnout because there was just a couple. But instead you got a bunch of them now, and like 4 people show up to each one. Or they'd have the panels where it was like editing comics the Boom way. I was at Boom at the time as an editor, and I was not interested in that panel.
And they were probably wrong too, weren't they?
Yes, exactly. It's just they put on these dumb panels, and every year it's the same. Like, so I'm like, hey, let's bring this guest. They're hot. They're like, hey, it was the 25th anniversary of the Disney Afternoon, and I wanted them to bring out. I ended up bringing out Jim Cummings on my own expense for the panel because they wouldn't bring out Jim Cummings. Meanwhile, they were having things like, we should guest Mimi Ledger, this year. Basically like bring her out, pay for her to come out, put her up in a hotel, pay for everything for her. Mimi Ledger, she worked on a couple episodes of the first season of The Simpsons. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but is that going to put an ass in the seat? No.
You could have got Eric Stefani, brother of Gwen. People would have come to see that dude because he was in No Doubt, and he worked on The Simpsons in the first season. There you go. Like, do people...
I could have gotten the guy for your plumbing and heating needs, Jack Steffen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were in California at that time. You're probably too young for that, Jeff. But there used to be these commercials where it'd be like, for plumbing and heating, call your man, Jack Stefanovich. And then he'd turn around and he'd be like, Steffen, Jack Steffen, we're in the white pages.
Can you get Fred Garvin, male prostitute? Because that'd be
Fred Garvin, male prostitute. We could get Mr. Whipple.
Sorry, no, look, Aaron, I only lived in California from 2020 to 2023, so.
Oh, yeah, so you even missed probably like Cal Worthington and his dog Spot,
I was there from 95. No. Yeah, 95, and then left in 2018. 2017? One of the two.
So you were there in 95 when you were born, right?
And I was born in 88, jackass.
I just imagine you like I'm like Andrew's like 23 years old.
I wish. No.
I would love to have known a 23-year-old Andrew. I don't know if we would have gotten along. Wait, no, hold on. That would have been what, 2011, right? Yeah, we probably would have been pumped for the Avengers, so we probably would have got along. I
was more or less the same person, just less facial hair.
Yeah, well, remember how it used to be? It used to be you just, be bicycling around your neighborhood and you'd see a guy in an Avengers shirt and you'd be like, you like the Avengers? I like the Avengers. Are we best friends now? And you were.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I see people in like certain t-shirts and I'm like, oh, like Dead Kennedys. I'm like, oh man, Dead Kennedys, it takes me back. What's your favorite song? And they're like, I don't know any. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy that like critiques you for wearing the band shirt. I just walked away and was like, okay, I guess it's just a cool logo now.
Well, it's like they asked Pedro Pascal on like the red carpet, like what his favorite Prince song was, and he was like, "Oh, Purple Rain." It was like, you basic bitch.
That's because that's the only one he knows of, probably.
Everybody knows Let's Go Crazy.
But if you asked him what his favorite Erasure song was, or Pet Shop Boys, I bet you'd know the whole catalog.
I mean, West End Girls or East End Girls.
You're like, Pedro, what's your favorite Indiglo Girls song? Oh, so many.
Yeah, he just seems like that kind of chick.
That's such a red carpet answer. Right? Like when you can't name anything because you don't actually freaking know. So you just give the blatant, like, super vague, oh, so many, I can't pick. I love them all. Like, shut up.
At least
just say I don't listen to them. Like, be real.
Or at least like make an Office Space reference and go, I celebrate the man's entire catalog.
Exactly 7 minutes.
I'd respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd respect that.
See, Office Space is just another reason why 1999 is the greatest year in movie history. I won't even argue it. Like, you could say 1985, it's got great films, but 99 is just an embarrassment of riches. It's just every release window is something classic or something you're like, oh, wait, that's amazing. I don't even remember it. And it's also got The Matrix, so.
Well, when you see like the marquees of like, like someone will post an old marquee from back in the day at the mall, and you look at it and you're like, let's see, what was in theaters at that time? oh, RoboCop 2, Gremlins 2, Predator. You know, it's like Big Trouble in Little China. Like whatever it is, it's just banger after banger after banger.
You should have. I wish you were available on Thursday, man. We're doing this game. We're finishing up this Thursday night where we're trying to figure out what the greatest movie summer is of all time, and we're doing an S through F tier. And oddly enough, because I have the paper here, we had way more S tiers than we did anything else. So summers of 77, 80, 81, 82, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 96, and 99 were all S tiers. So a lot of movies came out in those windows that are great.
Oh, yeah.
I guess since script isn't going to show up for a while, I wanted to share this with the audience real quick. So, folks, like I said, and we'll get to Justin in a second because I got a lot to say on that one, and then we'll get into Diversity, The Odyssey, and what's the other one? Shit, they're all pulled up here. Sorry. Oh, the Warner Brothers Paramount deal. So, folks, I know I said I had an Andrew-sized hole in my filmography, and I decided that I was going to blind buy a film that I had heard about, I had seen clips of, and I assumed I would love. And it even sounded like I had seen it, even though I had only seen clips and stills from the movie. And it was a little movie called Videodrome. I bought this on 4K.
Hell yeah.
This, in one viewing, has become one of my favorite movies ever. This is the shit. Andrew, if you've never watched this movie, watch it. You can watch it with Mary. I would suggest you watch it by yourself. Because I watched it and I thought, am I relating?
Well, it's Cronenberg, so it's a horror movie, I'm assuming, right?
No, not really. I mean, it's
more of a thriller?
It's more of a thriller because James Woods is the actor in the movie, and he is a Canadian television. He owns his own channel in Canada, and it's like the lascivious channel where they'll show sex and violence and over-the-top stuff. And he is shown a rogue rogue TV broadcast of a show called Videodrome, which is actual snuff TV, but it's not. It's deeper than that. It gets into a little more of a conspiracy, and it's a lot like They Live. So. Folks, if you haven't watched it, I can't recommend it enough. I don't know where it's streaming. I just blind bought the 4K because it was on sale, and it's a cool set. The picture quality is perfect. It even looks like a Betamax tape on the container.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, even the back, it's got the reels. But I just wanted to bring this up because I wanted to know if you guys had seen it, because I go on watching more modern stuff, and I tell everybody, the new stuff isn't that great. I'm not that excited. I'm going back and finding some awesome stuff, and I'm trying to recommend it so people can find something to entertain them. That's world class.
Yeah, no, that is a good choice. It's been years and years since I've seen it. You just reminded me that it exists and that I need to go revisit it. One thing I did revisit recently, which is still just as weird and hilarious as it always was I had an opportunity to meet Jeffrey Combs, and he he starts the conversation by saying like, "Yeah, I was up at this convention. It was like the anniversary show for like this little indie horror film that I did like back in the day, Reanimator." As if like I would be like, Reanimator, what's that?
Aaron, Reanimator was the movie I watched after Videodrome.
Yes,
I got the Arrow Video Steelbook. Somebody gifted it me for Christmas one year. I love that movie. Like, did I ever tell you the time I met Barbara? Oh, I didn't meet Barbara Crampton. Barbara Crampton found me out. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
So I used to work horror conventions as an artist. I used to go to Horror Hound and anything that was kind of in the Midwest. And I had a little bit of a following. It was cool. I'd always take new art prints. Well, I'm always looking for stuff to get. Here's the business model, folks. Here's how, if you're ever going to do it, how you can make some money. If you make prints of the actors and the movies and the things that are going to be there, people are always looking to get shit autographed. So if you come up with something really cool, you have a better chance of selling it to get autographed. Like when The Walking Dead was hot, I could just take anything with The Walking Dead and sell out instantly. It was great. But that same year that I did all the Walking Dead stuff, I took a Reanimator poster print. But what it was the severed head scene, but it was drawn from her perspective. So you saw her thighs and everything down there, and this head's going. And people kept buying it, taking it to get autographed. And she walked by the table towards the end of the con. She goes, "That's where it came from." And I was like, "Yes!" So I pissed her off, and I made money from it. So I love Barbara Crampton.
Oh no! See what she should have done is she should have said to you, "Hey, how many of these can I buy?" And then taken them with her to every convention she went to and made a shitload of money.
Yeah, well, I guess she chose to be offended that day. But Barbara, I'm a much better artist. If you want to commission me for another Reanimator head-on-head scene, no problem. It'll be a lot better. My inking has improved tenfold. So
yeah, it'll be great because she could. I'm telling you, she could just set up a deal with you where she's like, "Hey, can I just reorder prints from you whenever I need them?" You'd be like, "Sure." She'd take them to shows and sell out every time.
Look, if any actor who's been in a horror movie would like to commission me for some of that stuff, I'll work with you. We'll make a deal. We'll make you some cool artwork. So info@worldclassbullshitters.com.
And I would encourage y'all to take advantage of that because Jeff is a hell of an artist.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. I will share with you guys off air. I got this side project. I call my business partner, who's my friend, but we're doing a trading card game. Well, let me rephrase that. It's a card game, but it's not like Pokemon trading card. It's something else. But I completed some of the character work, and I've been showing it to my friends. So I'll share it with you guys if you want to see. They're just the black and white right now, but I think they turned out pretty good.
Did you have? Did you by any chance have the piece of artwork that you did for me for Doomface 2 handy, Jeff? Because we could throw that up there and show the.
Let me see if I got that easily available. I know I tweeted it out.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, dude. You think that Wokebusters is going to be a part of a crossover, and I'm not going to be pumped and tell everybody about it? Here's the thing, dude. When that's ready to go, you tell me. We will do a special episode. We'll bullshit about Kneel Before Doomface. We'll talk about Wokebusters. We'll talk about the greatest crossover. The Avengers fought the X-Men, which really wasn't that great in hindsight. So
I was going to say, it's probably better than that, because that event was kind of garbage.
Admittedly,
I'm over the hero versus hero crowd. I'm over it. So over it.
Oh, dude, I was over it a long time ago, but I did buy into it. Come on, man. It was, 2011? I was young in college.
I'll give them this much. The different, Phoenix Force forms of some of the characters had pretty rad designs. Somebody had fun designing those. I'll give them that much.
I'd buy Emma Frost. I'd buy a Cyclops. I'd buy,
I would buy the Emma Frost in a heartbeat. In fact, I have an Emma Frost statue over there. Mary got it for me.
I don't have Emma Frost on the X-Men shelf. That's the only lady, main lady I don't have. I got Mystique. I got Dazzler, but I don't have Emma Frost.
You got Dazzler, but you don't have the White Queen?
I got some purple lady, and I got some one that looks like Jubilee, but she's got blonde hair. Aaron, you'll know the character. I just don't know you'll know the figure. She's got a pink jumpsuit on, green glasses, a purple vest.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
Boom boom. Okay, I bought her. Yeah. I got Polaris, but no Emma Frost. I guess I hate blondes. No, the only reason
every time I see that Boom Boom, it makes me want Sienna Blaze, but they've never made a figure of Sienna Blaze.
All right, so here we go. I got the image pulled up. Hold on, let me open it in a different window because I do not want to share my email inbox. Sorry, folks, I just don't.
Lots of secrets.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll share my Xbox Live gamer tag if you really want to. So, folks, Aaron has a wonderful comic book series called Kneel Before Doomface, and in issue 2, there is a crossover with a certain group of outrage exterminators, a little group called the Wokebusters. So, coming up in Kneel Before Doomface, you will be able to see this Wokebusters billboard I drew and built out in Photoshop for this comic. So, Aaron, thanks for thinking of me, dude. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's like when I saw the concept for Ghostbusters and I saw what you were doing, I was like, that could easily fit within the universe of Kneel Before Doomface, and wouldn't it be fun to be a crossover? I was like, so let's start hinting that they might actually be in the same universe.
Well, wish me luck. Wokebusters is being currently read by a company, so
yeah.
Very
let's
cool.
Go.
Yeah, I was excited because we know a guy, Aaron, and he helped me get in contact with. Well, you know this person because you're working with him too. So, long story short, I'm hoping it goes that way because I reread Wokebusters the other day and I thought to myself, I need to push this one more. This was a lot of fun to make, and I think it stands up on its own beyond any kind of connection to wokeness. There's no connection to wokeness, but you know what I mean. But anyway, folks, this is going to be out when, Aaron?
So 2, the inks are done. Colors are being finished now, and I'm currently shipping Kneel Before Doomface #1. That has been taking up most of my day every day. I'm sitting down and I'm packaging stuff. I decided to just the timing, the way everything was going to work out. It was like if I send it to a fulfillment house, it might actually take longer, and I'm going to have to coordinate a bunch of stuff. And I'll just do it, and that way I know every single order is being packed with care, and So that's what I'm doing right now. And
I'm ready for my Kenneth Rocafort cover.
Yeah, I've not gotten to the singular Rocafort covers yet. I'm doing it in batches. So it's like,
that makes sense. I'm not in a rush beyond like just wanting to read it, and I told myself I'm not going to read it until I have the physical copy, because I have the digital one that you sent out, but I want to read the book.
Andrew,
right?
Did your big Stealing Solo package arrive?
It did.
Good. That those shipping boxes were hard to get. That like outer one that it came in.
Yeah.
It took weeks to fucking find one. I had to.
It was packed perfectly though.
Oh.
It was packed so well, and there's a lot of stuff in that box. Like I forgot when it like arrived. I had totally forgotten everything that all came in it. I just remember pressing the button of like, oh, there's only 3 of these. I'm getting one of those, and I didn't honestly read what was in it. I was like, just give me the thing, right? But then I remember cracking it open and being like, nothing was moving in this box when I was carrying it from my locker to my apartment. Just nothing was shifting around. It was just like I even could have, shook it and nothing was moving. So excellent job on the packaging, and I'm excited to dive in.
We got to remember the box that you bought, like the set, that box is part of it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that had to arrive just as good as the book.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's the thing. Now there are 5 left. They're sitting in this like other big box. So eventually when I
should bring those to conventions.
I could
or wait until Frankenfish. You could do that as well. Either way.
The thing is, I don't have any more shirts. I'm out of like any of the extra stuff because the way Kickstarter operates with, you have to. I liked Indiegogo a little more. I might go back. I don't know what's up with it. But my point is, that stuff was. It was fun to ship out. And Aaron, I'm glad you're almost done. I'm done with my shit. The only person's package I have is Script Doctor's here. That's it. So. Sorry, Script. That's probably why he's not here. He's angry. He's like, I want my Stealing Solo too.
That's what it is.
Up, man. But folks, if you'd like to read Stealing Solo or Wokebusters, you can just go to stealingsolo.com or wokebusterscomic.com. But Aaron, where can we find Kneel Before Doomface 1 and 2?
So I'm not offering number 1 right now until I fulfill to all the backers. I do have some extras that I might take with me to San Diego for people who ask, but otherwise, I'm making sure that I fulfill everybody before I put anything up for sale. Just because I don't want to be having to do orders at the same time, and I don't want people who order off a website to be getting the book before people who actually backed it. So it's just one of those promises that you make to people when they decide to put down their hard-earned cash to help you achieve a dream. So no, not on sale yet, but as soon as I have some available for the general public, I will let people know.
Do you have Shopify stores?
Yeah. Have a Shopify store over at kneelbeforedoomface.com.
Because I love it. It does so much of the work. This isn't a commercial, by the way, folks. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to you got to understand one thing that I'm trying to do. Sometimes it sounds like I tell you too much. I'm trying to push everybody out there to go make your own books. Go make your own art. Do this yourself.
On it.
Yes. Support us. Andrew did it. Aaron does it. Script does it. This is probably the only podcast in our sphere or show in our sphere where everybody's created stuff, and we're going to continue to create stuff because you guys want it. There's demand, and it's fun. But if you have a passion, this is your dream, just go for it and listen to the little tips I give you. And if you got questions, you can shoot me a message here. And the only thing I won't do is write or draw your book for you, but I'll point you in all the right directions. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, unless they pay you a good amount for it.
Oh, you look it. I can be bought. Like if you're like, Jeff, I need
Everyone
my book
has
by
a price.
the end of the year. Yeah. Look, if you say, Jeff, I need my comic book done by the end of this year, and I'll give you $30,000. Shit, you'll have it by the end of September. Like, don't worry. It'll be colored, ink. You'll get a print file. You'll just have to pay it yourself. No, that's not my fee. That's crazy. It's higher. But all joking aside,
for that quick of a turnaround.
Realistically, I would have to, because I got my own team. I don't talk about it, but they're all credited in my books. But like, if something like that happened, I could be on it tomorrow because I got my colorist team. I have a team of colorists ready to work. I got my letterer who lives in another part of the world, but that guy's on it. And then the printing part's not that hard. It's just a lot of trial and error that I've already learned how to, get through.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm really happy with the way that all the books came out from the printer. The only thing that I was unhappy about is so we did like the vintage cover, which was made to the Vault of Doomface cover, but it was supposed to look like it was kind of beaten up from like an old book. And when we switched over we upgraded everybody to like a square bound, thicker book because we had the ability to do it. And I was like, why not give people more for their money? That kind of like killed the way that I wanted that book to look. So eventually I was planning on reprinting that as a floppy anyway. So when I do, everybody who ordered that version, they're going to get their square bound version, but then they'll get the new version that is more in line with what I wanted it to look like. They will get that for free.
Mm. Oh, that's
you
cool.
think I should ever try out doing a floppy comic? Or should I stick with graphic novels?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. And especially if you decide to go with, kind of like regular distribution and you want to get your work out there like after the fact, I think it's a good idea to kind of do your books, your higher end books for your Kickstarter people. And then once you have enough kind of in the can and you can offer it out to shops and do floppies, do some scaled down floppies. So the people that back you always get the premium edition, but then, the shops can discover you with the floppies.
Well, what's his name? Joe Benitez actually does that with Lady Mechanica. So he'll Kickstarter the next story arc, right? Which could usually be from anywhere from 3 to 6 issues worth of a floppy. He'll Kickstarter that, do that, and then like 6 months to a year later, he'll start like releasing the single issues through Image into shops.
Yeah. I think Brian Pulido does that with Lady Death too.
I just got to come up with something character-based or superhero, because then I feel like, it'll be the perfect book. Because these are like full stories. I couldn't break up Stealing Solo 2 into 3 books. It'd be weird. It'd be like the final book would be 11 pages. I think people would be pissed off by that. So we're not going to go that route. But Aaron, we're looking at so this is getting colored. It's in production. Will this be out around Christmas or early next year?
Well, I want to talk about, I want to talk to a distributor about, kind of like taking on, the fulfillment of the book and whatnot. But it seems like they might be booked up through the end of the year. So I might end up doing Kickstarter again, which I kind of don't want to do. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. There's a lot of stuff in flux right now.
Well, you can fly me to you, and I'll help you fulfill in person.
I'll send them to Jeff, and it'll be like, hey, are you guys fulfilling books, or are you just going to Ollie's and filming videos?
Yeah. We'd never get anything done. We've never met, but I know that we would never be productive because all we would do is talk about toys, look at toys. You'd probably show me some of the stuff you've been making your photography out of, and I'd be like, hey, dude, look at this thing I've been holding on to for 20 years. So yeah.
I'd be going through like your vintage stuff because I have a vintage collection, but that stuff is all put away, and it's only my newer stuff that's out. So I'd be like, oh yeah, look at this, look at all this vintage stuff. Let's go to the stores that carry all this. And
I'd be like, I'm leaving my wallet in the car because I'm not walking out with another Millennium Falcon. One's enough. I don't need to cannibalize this new one for parts.
Drew took me to this place called like the Toy Pit or something like that in Indiana. I sent you the pictures from it, but they had like so much vintage stuff that if I could have gotten it onto the plane without having to spend a bunch of money for extra luggage, I probably would have left there with a couple of big play sets.
What you should do is if you're ever in Cincinnati, obviously we're going to hang out, but I got to take you to the toy department. That store's legit. Like I filmed it once for the channel. Name a toy. Just name something. It's in there. Like they even have one-up prototypes from not even one-up prototypes. They had one-up figures like from Hasbro, like the old James Bond Jr. line. They got the big wax wooden sculptures that are hand-painted. And I'm like, what the hell? They have all this cool stuff there. So you will go broke in that store if you do not watch yourself.
I could
wrestling figures.
I could easily do that. Like today, I went into Ross to get something for the kitchen. And, I'll swing by the toy aisle. Why wouldn't I? And they had from the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I cannot stand, the Seth Rogen Turtles. But they had like this cardboard play set that's like it's like a briefcase, and it comes with 2 figures that I don't want. But it was like really cheap, and it opens up into like a diorama. And I have been setting up like the action figure city, and I'm like, I could work that into the diorama. And so I picked that up, and I bought that, and I bought Stardust today. Those are my 2 purchases.
I don't have any new figures. I've just bought movies lately, but I'll eventually get to. I think He-Man was the last thing I bought. Well, no, hold on. I did buy this at Ross Dress for less. I got a Batarang. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's a good show. Let's check with the audience because we had another message about the rock star. Then our friend Rod Thunderheart is here. We don't want to leave Rod waiting. Thank you, Rod. But our friend Justin Booth 89 says Dwayne Johnson's daughter is even worse. She laughed and celebrated Charlie Kirk being assassinated. That's just sickening. I did not hear that. I dislike that he's a Nepo baby, but that's tasteless.
I had not heard that. That would be tasteless to do regardless of who got assassinated. Somebody got assassinated. Unless it's an evil dictator, then I'll really feel bad.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, in general, I'm gonna have sympathy for somebody getting killed. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't.
At least for their family. You know, even
that's
if
an awful thing to celebrate.
Yeah, I feel. I mean, I didn't like Lindsey Graham at all. And like I said to Sully on Twitter, I said I don't celebrate his death, but I also don't mourn him. I'm completely indifferent, and that's about as far as I can go. You know,
now
I think that
he's an old guy that died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's different when just because you don't like what somebody says. Like, look, I don't like Anita Sarkeesian.
Well, he might have been murdered. Jeff.
Bad happened to her.
He might have been murdered for all we know. You know, all the weird stuff going on the world stage.
Oh, yeah. It's true. Like, isn't AI Mitch McConnell a thing right now?
No, I talked to him the other day for 20 minutes. We had a robust conversation about, Supergirl. He was really looking forward to seeing it. You know, it was his number one movie that he was excited about.
He got through more than 3 words?
Yeah, no, he was
remarkable.
He was sharp as a tack.
Did you know we have a Mitch McConnell button on the show?
Do we really?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Part of me wants to feel bad because that's somebody's mind deteriorating, and that is a thing that happens. But man, I can't stand politicians.
No, and also you have to laugh over us. You have to laugh at the farce that this person is still in office. Like, how is this even possible?
Yeah,
there needs to be. I'm not saying there needs to be age restrictions, but there at least needs to be competency tests.
Shit, I'll say age restrictions. Fuck it. I don't care if you're 80. Just retire. Go play golf. Watch The Price is Right. I don't care what you do. Go live a happy life, but don't.
But why retire when you can get millions of dollars for doing effectively nothing still?
Fine, Andrew. Then fire him out of cannon into the sun. I don't care. It'll be a great spectator sport. It's
do that with just about all of them in Congress. As far as I'm concerned, I'm here. Let's make a show out of it. I'll crack open some beers, grill some burgers.
You know what you do is you take all of them and you set them up at the National Mall in stocks, like the Pilgrims used to hold people. You know, put them in the stocks, and for $5, people can throw a vegetable of their choice at them, and then we'll pay off the deficit.
But when you're throwing a vegetable at effectively what is a bipedal vegetable.
Yes, it's vegetable on vegetable crime, Andrew.
But Justin, I didn't want to shortchange you, man. I don't like his daughter because she's just she was oh, I worked so hard to make it in this business. Really? You fucking did? You mean your dad, the second most famous wrestler of all time, didn't help you get in? You really worked your ass off, Ava Rain, didn't you? And then you walk out, oh, it was so much for that. But fuck off. Look, I wish my dad was some famous guy that I could just say, hey, Dad, I don't really want to do much with my life. Can I cash in on your fame? Okay, no problem. Who wouldn't love that life?
Sure.
Yeah. That's what the Rock's
You faced so much diversity, you poor sweet summer child.
She's faced diversity, not adversity. Diversity.
Well, here's the thing about her.
Yeah.
Rock could help her get into wrestling, but with a face like hers, The Rock couldn't even use all his pull to get her ass in the movie. She looks like him with a wig. She looks like she could be my sister. Ugh. Anyway, I'm not a fan of hers. I didn't think she was that funny or interesting or good. But here's somebody that's great. Our friend Rod Thunderheart, who says, "Hail WCBS. Dwayne Johnson's problem is he carries his wrestling ego into his movies. He has a thing in his contract that he could never lose. That is hubris. Jesus, it's just a movie, not wrestling. You're bringing the story to life. Leave that ego at the door."
Yeah, be like Sean Bean. Be willing to just die in literally everything.
They say in this scene, Rock, you're gonna lose to Jason Statham, and he says, "That doesn't work for me, brother."
Creative control, dude. Speaking of creativity, say hello to the one, the only, the Script Doctor.
I made it.
Yes!
Script Doctor.
How's it going, everybody?
What's going on?
I have good news for you, Script.
What's going on,
man?
man?
Rambled on for an hour, and you haven't missed any of the topics.
I was good. Yeah, we have.
That's fantastic.
Jeff made that sound like that was the most incredibly rare thing that had ever occurred in any one of our lives. But for us, it's actually just a Tuesday.
Yes, I like that reference, my friend. Also,
I
this
got
is
you.
like
I'm world class.
You are. When I see you, pinky out. You got to give me the information about that con next year. I'm willing to go down to Florida and be a part of all this shit. I just haven't heard from anybody yet. So.
Oh yeah, MegaCon, absolutely.
Yeah, just shoot me emails or Twitter messages, anybody, because I'd like to go hang out, take books, do everything. I'm making my way to bigger cons now. Now that I got a couple more books under my belt and things are, under control here. Rod, like I was saying a second ago too, it's such a weird place for me to be because it's like, as much as I like old wrestling and I'm watching it currently every day when I'm on the bike, and I'm still like excited, like we're a week away from SummerSlam year 2000, and I'm like, oh man, The Rock versus Kurt Angle versus Triple H, this is going to be great. Yeah, I can still feel that excitement when I turn on the old games. I'm playing, my matches. I'm like still feeling like a kid, looking at the toys, still remembering what it was like. But man, it's like I'm a different person when it comes to the movies. Like he could show up at my door and say, "Hey, do you want to go watch the Smashing Machine? How do you know where I live, Rock?" And no, I don't. But will you sign my all my shit? Okay, then we're cool.
I heard he actually had a good performance in that.
Yeah, but he didn't get.
It wasn't a movie I was interested in watching. Personally,
I don't think there's a Rock performance I want to watch because it's weird, Rod. You said he brings his wrestling ego to the movie. He doesn't bring the best part of his wrestling persona. Like he's not cool. Like Red One, lame movie. We watched it for Patreon last year. I thought it sucked. I will take this back though. I do like the Jumanji movies. For as much as I hate that Rock.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun. And you know what? I'll say it, and I can say this because I've never once in the entirety of my life claimed to be a G.I. Joe fan. I actually really enjoyed G.I. Joe Retaliation. And
G.I. Joe Retaliation was a fun movie. It was, as close to G.I. Joe as we were likely to get.
To me, as somebody who had no knowledge of G.I. Joe outside of I knew they were action figures, and I had seen the first movie and didn't like it very much because it wasn't good. I saw that one. I was like, The Rock's in it. Okay, hopefully at least he's fun. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun action flick. I enjoyed it.
I'm just shocked that no one has lauded The Rock's performance in Southland Tales. It's just it's Academy Award worthy.
That was brought up earlier, actually.
That is one of the biggest pieces of crap I've ever seen. And that's not hyperbole. That part where he goes, "I'm a pimp and pimps don't kill themselves," and then like Justin Timberlake sings that song into the camera. No.
Choices were made.
All the wrong ones.
Yeah.
It doesn't look exciting and weird like that movie Digger. Well, I don't want to say exciting. That just looks weird. I'll watch it though. Have you guys seen the trailer?
Oh, the new Tom Cruise movie? Yeah. I'll check it out. I'll have to. Tom Cruise is one of my 3 favorite actors, probably my 2nd favorite behind Jeff Goldblum. So I'm hyped for that.
I'm only going to see it for John Goodman though. Like that.
I want to see it for John Goodman, who's it looks like he's making fun of like Biden and Trump at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Tom Cruise is just playing the senator from Mission Impossible 1 that he impersonated.
That is true. Now that I'm knowing that, I'm not going to be able to unsee it. Great. You ruined it for me. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so Rod Thunderheart, thank you very much. I'd like to say this though too. Like, I think The Rock. Nah, never mind. That was Smashing Machine. I'm like, maybe one day when he's really old, he'll pull off something that everyone goes, "Oh shit, he had this in the whole time." No, want him to be. You guys remember the Simpsons episode where they do the stories from Springfield, where they all have different movies?
Yeah.
I want to see The Rock in a live action version of the Barney Gumble. Don't cry for me, I'm already dead. Jabroni, that would be best.
That's
I want to see
pretty
him showing up like Professor Frink just as the credits roll.
Good news. Rod Thunderheart says, Jeff, do you have a Knight Rider themed button? No, but I could make one. Let me write that down. My buddy is the Knight Rider companion guy, so maybe I'll ask him for some ideas. But the closest thing I have to Knight Rider would be a Magnum PI button. Do we want to see that one?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, we do.
Oh, by the way, Aaron, as I'm going to this, I saw an old picture from a toy store, and it was nothing but a wall of Magnum PI action figures with the little car. I wanted one really badly. Okay, here is our Magnum PI button right here.
Guns don't work on Sunday.
Sweet Mother Mary.
That was Mother Mary. She did.
I love the meme when it's like that people use whenever whenever something really obvious happens, and they show you the meme of Magnum just always looking into the camera with that smile. Like it's just a bunch of shots of him just turning to the camera. Like, yep.
You could definitely cut in Sally Field as the flying nun in like the close up instead of the one that's actually there.
I have never seen a full episode of that show. Only the intro. But it's got to be better than Mr. Ed, right?
Yes.
Okay. A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
No, I don't know. I think Mr. Ed is perhaps one of the greatest things of all time.
Where does it rank next to My Mother the Car?
It's above My Mother the Car, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Munsters is up here. Green Acres is somewhere in between. I Dream of Genie is towards the top. I love that show. Our friend Enrique Vasquez, member for 41 months. Thank you, Enrique, very much. He says, Fuck, Marry, Kill Jurassic Park Edition. Okay, we got the Ford Explorer, the Mercedes ML320, or the Gyrosphere. And then we also have the T-Rex, the Raptor, or the Mosasaurus.
That's two different FMKs.
Well, Enrique's been a member for 41 months. When you've been a member for 41 months, you can, put as many as you can fit in the message.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to F the Jeep. I'm going to marry the Mercedes. I'm going to kill the Gyrosphere.
Same. It's a Mercedes.
I will marry. I'll marry the Ford Explorer. F the Gyrosphere. Because it seems redundant because the Mercedes is probably going to kill itself because they're constantly breaking down anyway. But there it is. Well, there it is.
And then
I got that Jeff Goldblum reference, by the way.
I appreciate you.
Andrew, speaking of Jeff Goldblum references, have you seen The Fly yet?
Yeah, I've seen The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. I haven't seen the original one.
Have you seen Earth Girls Are Easy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Earth Girls Are Easy? Have you seen that?
Nope.
No.
Have you seen the original Death Wish, where he plays a rapist in a Jughead hat?
Buckaroo Banzai?
Oh my gosh, you got to see Buckaroo Banzai.
He says as he chooses food.
Well, I just got off a plane and I haven't eaten in 48 hours.
Well, he's seen Buckaroo Banzai. He can eat on the show.
Yeah.
You watched Buckaroo Banzai on the plane, as a matter of fact.
48 hours?
Yeah.
I would be the grumpiest mofo right now.
I've literally bounced between Canada and the United States 3 times in the last 2 days.
Good grief.
Thanks for making it.
I'm glad you managed to make it in one piece.
Thank you.
I'll rank the dinosaurs. I'll fuck the raptor, marry the T-Rex, kill the Mosasaurus because it's all CGI.
I think that's mine as well. Wait, did you? Who did you marry?
I actually agree with that.
T-Rex.
You married the T? Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Yeah, married Rex.
You don't want to marry a Velociraptor.
No,
too much teeth.
Yeah. That's the problem? All right, so let's find the Pee Wee Herman button because I don't remember exactly.
Plus, the T-Rex has those tender little hands.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. and it's always going to ask. It's going to keep you alive because you can always scratch its back or tail. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that cartoon Primal?
Yes.
That was awesome. That guy had a pet dinosaur.
And Gendy, he's doing Conan now, an animated Conan.
I'm checking that out day one.
I don't remember that one.
You haven't seen Primal?
When did that show come out?
During the pandemic.
Oh,
Right.
so it's like super new. Okay, never mind. That's why I stopped watching.
Well, man, I don't know
TV
if it's
when I
super new. It's
5 years.
Super
Last time I was still watching TV, Bones and Smallville were still running. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's on HBO Max now.
Okay.
So check it out. Honestly, it's worth it. Like, it's really good.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Enrique, here. Oh, wait. I think you want. I'm going to play it both, Pee Wees. Hold on. Just give me a second.
So what's today's secret word, Cocky?
Today's secret word is
John C.
I think it got Andrew. I don't think he saw it.
He's gonna take on the Undertaker in a spit swap and makeout match.
It's Uber Slayer.
Oh man, that's a classic.
That made me laugh till I cried. Like, that was a good one.
That's a classic if ever there was one.
Enrique, I think this is the one you actually want.
Yeah, that's nice. Go ahead and scream your head off. We're miles from where anyone can hear you.
That's pretty good editing for that clip. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Whoever did that, man, knocked it out of the park. And Rod, do not worry. We're going to play you some Steiner math a little later on. Rod Thunderheart says, hail. Let me get the thing. He says, Dave Bautista in one of his first movies was asked hesitantly to wear, I think, a silly wig or something. He said yes and immediately hammed it up. Then to defuse, he said he's there to help them make the best movie. Dude, Bautista is a much better actor than The Rock. You know what we should do, guys, on this show? And WCBS. Maybe we'll do a crossover. We'll pick all the wrestlers turned actors and we'll rank them S to F tier. And we'll like Roddy Piper is going to be towards the top because they live.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No.
The Rock is going to fall like above Stone Cold Steve Austin, but like I hate to say it, for just acting, I'd put Triple H above The Rock because he made this movie called The Chaperone, which I thought was going to suck dick.
That movie was actually kind of all right.
Yeah.
It was kind of all right. I remember seeing that when it came out and being like, why is this movie actually okay?
Yeah, Dion and I watched it in college and we looked at each other like, how do we not hate this movie?
Right? You feel weird, right? Like you're supposed to hate it, but you're like, it's actually okay.
I'd put The Big Show above The Rock as an actor.
Yeah, he's Captain Insano. He shows no mercy.
Mm-hmm.
He was also one of the fake Santas in Jingle All the Way.
That is correct.
On the deck your halls, bub.
Yeah, no, I mean,
little buddy.
I love Jingle All the Way, dude. Every Christmas.
I freaking love that movie.
It's still about time. There's this program I use where it'll basically take my audio and it'll transcribe it so I can edit the videos quicker. And it asks what the speaker's name is, and every time I put my name in, it's Turbo Man. It thinks I'm Turbo Man. But
unbelievably based.
Yeah,
I will be right back.
Yeah, Rod. Though I got to tell you, man, Batista did a great job in Guardians of the Galaxy, or just as Drax in general. I thought he was.
He was great, even though that wasn't comic Drax. The character was very different. The performance he did for the character that was written was really good.
And his chemistry with Mantis is great. So
it was really funny.
Yeah, Batista's funny. He's not a great wrestler, and he was a bad promo. It's weird too. Like in the world of wrestling, The Rock is better than a lot of these guys, but in the real world, they're all more entertaining. So
okay, but Batista was part of one of the greatest promos of all time. When Stephanie McMahon, when Stephanie McMahon actually slapped the glasses off of him and Orton broke character in the ring. You remember that?
I mean, I watched it when it happened, but I got to go back. I don't remember that.
That was a hilarious moment. I remember spitting out my beer because you could tell that was completely unscripted because Orton, he was in full Orton, and then he just was not.
Orton's a pretty decent dude. He was nice when I met him, so he gets a thumbs up for
I
me.
wish I had gotten to meet Randy Orton. He was one of my favorites.
I got to meet him at my peak Randy Orton fandom, too. I painted this poster of him, and I was like, oh, let's go meet him. He was cool as shit. He's like, dude, this is a great poster. He like got up from around the table, signed it extra nice because like everybody else was getting this generic like R whatever, but I got the full Randy Orton and the gold marker.
Oh shit! There we go.
Awesome Randy Orton thing,
dude. That's Shawn awesome.
Michaels, he was cool too.
That's cool, man.
I technically didn't meet him one-on-one, but I went to a breakfast that the WWE hosted, and Batista was there. So was Raven Simone and Kim Kardashian. It was kind of a weird, like, eclectic mix.
What the hell kind of a group is that?
So, dude, the reason I bitch about wrestling prices isn't because I have
Simone.
Well, look, they used to have this thing called Bacon, Bagels, and Biceps. It was the weekend of WrestleMania. It was usually the Sunday morning of Mania. And what it was is you would go to a hotel that was close to the venue, and it would be sponsored by WWE. It was like $100, and you got a full breakfast buffet, and you got souvenirs. They gave you these WrestleMania alarm clocks and these mugs. So I got all that shit. But then the wrestlers would come out, and they would do they wouldn't do matches. There would be a table, and like the commentators would sit up and tell you shit about wrestling. They would entertain you and put on shows, and then wrestlers would come out. And that year, Batista was at the breakfast, and then all these other people were there too. So it was fun. You used to be able to do cool shit like that. Not anymore.
That's pretty cool. The coolest thing I got to do for wrestling was the year that I always forget which one it was. It was either 2015 or 2014 when WrestleMania was in Santa Clara.
15.
Okay, yeah. So me and my buddy, we got to be in the like the skybox where who was up in there? Charlotte Flair, Hulk Hogan was there. Forget who else. Those were the only two that I specifically remember being there. We went to NXT the night before. It was a cool time.
I can't believe we were both at that venue, and now we're just discussing it. So it's like, hey. I did make it on TV on that show because we had seats that were back by the stage. That's my secret. And my buddy texts me, and he goes, "Hey, you're on TV," and he sends me the picture. The camera caught me giving the finger to the chick singing the whatever who was singing on stage, and he's like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Wow, I look like an asshole." I just realized that Script Doctor got bumped out of the thing. Sorry, Script Doctor. I hope you were still eating and enjoying it. I did not mean to cut you off, man. I'm sorry. All right.
Script?
No, he was not in a minute ago, and then I went, "Oh shit, he might have been saying something." So when I switched over for the buttons, I don't know why it keeps kicking people out when I switch the tabs, but
I was gonna say it's done that a few times now.
I can't change it. Like if I change it back to 2, it'll kick you guys out again. So
I've actually got to kick myself in a few minutes. So
all right. Well, here, let's talk about this then, because this is more important than the Odyssey. I don't really give a shit about that movie. Here's my stance for anybody that finds this video in the future. Me, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters, have no interest in this movie for one reason. I don't think Christopher Nolan's God. He's a good director, but he's made some stinkers. So I'm not in a rush to go watch a story that I already know. Will I watch it on streaming? Probably. Could I be convinced to go see it with a group of people? Absolutely. But am I going to go see it tomorrow because I'm so hyped? No, I don't care. I know how the story goes. And all the outrage, I see people's points, but I don't care about this movie enough to watch it. So that's my take. But this is the thing I actually wanted to talk about.
Your take is my take.
My take is no matter what, the Wishbone version is going to be better.
That's true.
Armand Asante version is actually really good.
The who?
The Armand Asante.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was a made-for-TV Odyssey.
Was that in the 90s?
Yes, it has the same style to like the Xena Warrior Princess, but it's a little pulled back. Yeah,
dude, I remember watching that as it aired because it was on like a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it's a weird, vivid memory. I remember going to Wendy's for dinner, and we got the stuff to bring it home to watch the Odyssey because it was like such a big deal. That was, man, I gotta find that. Is that streaming anywhere?
I bet you can find it on YouTube.
I'd rather watch that than this Christopher Nolan one, honestly. The Scylla in that was terrifying. Yeah, I might put that on.
I mean, Nolan made his career on trying to be, hyper realistic, hyper authentic, but has no whimsy, no magic, no vision as a director. That's why I can never really get into his films anymore.
There's not a lot of humanity in his.
Hence the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I got burned by Interstellar and I got burned by Tenet, and I just didn't like those.
I didn't see Tenet.
Oh, I started picking up he was weird with The Dark Knight, and then after I saw Inception, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it. He's an inauthentic filmmaker.
Now, speaking of an authentic filmmaker, it looks like Andy Serkis is coming under fire because he's not going to check a couple diversity boxes. So there's an article that dropped a few hours ago. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It centers on Andy Serkis discussing The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. And apparently there's criticism because the cast is almost entirely white. But Andy Serkis says this, that he acknowledges that people have raised the issue, but said the filmmakers in the movie are not interested in casting to satisfy quotas or tick boxes. Instead, he said any diversity in the film will come from where it makes sense for Tolkien's world and the story to be told. Tolkien's, excuse me.
World class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to hear your guys' take on this because I read that and I went, I don't want more Lord of the Rings, but I might be like convinced that if it's going to be.
This is for The Hunt for Gollum?
That's what I said, yes.
I had zero interest in this movie until just now.
Yeah, same.
Because as far as I'm concerned, it's a movie that doesn't need to be made. But like, I do love Andy Serkis' performance. I know that he loves the material. And that was his response to this?
Yep, that's from the Hollywood Reporter.
I'll give it the once over.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait for a trailer and see it. Like, I'm way more inclined to see it now than I was.
I mean, I'd be happy if it was just bad for being bad and not for any of the other stuff on top of it. So
yeah. Yeah, and it's like, because it doesn't make sense. Like, sure, if you're going to, like, oh, yeah, we went over here to where the Hardrim Archers are, you know, and they're all people of color. You know, it's like, it makes sense within the world when you travel to a place that makes sense for it. But, like, you know, oh, here's the Hobbit, like Rings of Power. You know, oh, the hobbits are a reclusive people and they shun outsiders, but they're incredibly diverse for some reason.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They must have just sprouted up out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
No, they came from the sky. No, but I'm hoping that this is going to continue to be a trend. Like, I have no interest in this realistically, but I'd like it to succeed on this specific merit, and I want more things to just be accurate to what they are. Like, if you're adapting something, adapt the thing. Of course, you're gonna have to put a little bit of a spin on it or some flair, but make it make sense in the world. Because if you take the viewer out of the story, you ruin the whole point of the experience. Because nobody goes to a movie and goes, you know what? They're really diverse. Good job. Nobody fucking thinks like that. Maybe the people that are making, like, look, Nolan wants his Oscar. That's why The Odyssey is what it is.
He already has a few.
Yeah, it's never enough, man. You always need more of that hit when you get it.
He wants to have more Oscars than any other director ever. It's like, man, you're not Kubrick. You're not Billy Wilder.
Well, at least we know that, you know, because he involved Travis Scott, it'll at least come out as well as Travis Scott's involvement with the WWE.
I will say this. I'm always shocked how much acclaim Nolan gets when his movies have the worst sound mixing on the planet.
Apparently that's a big problem with this one, too.
Oh, gosh.
Is that
I've only heard the other problems during production. Nothing on the post yet.
Dude, what's the deal with the intentionally bad audio? Like, I know Bane had issues and they had to re-record the whole shit, right?
Yep. I mean, they also had the same thing with, it's been in every Nolan movie, I think, except for The Prestige, the audio has always been horribly mixed and horribly off balance and distorted and unclear. And I think Christopher Nolan might be deaf, and we just can't tell because of the British accent.
Maybe.
What would it take for him to actually fix it up? I don't know. See, that's what I dislike about certain creatives having so much power, where they might have an actual problem in the art or the production, and they're just like, I want it this way, and nobody can tell you other. So then millions of people are going to be sitting there going, what? Huh? But I guarantee
watch a movie with subtitles now.
Yeah.
Dude, Travis Scott's line will be crystal clear, because isn't he rapping? Isn't that the whole point of this? That hip hop and origins of oration and shit? Isn't that the garbage excuse he gave?
Mel Brooks did it better with Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, speaking of Mel Brooks.
Oh, man.
Like, everybody's like losing their mind over the synopsis for Spaceballs 2.
Watch my video, please.
Yeah. Did you mention the fact, Jeff, that, like, yes, this would be a great jumping off point and a great way to make fun of Star Wars with Spaceballs 2 if it weren't in the hands of gutless pussy Josh Gad, who is certainly not going to bite the Disney hand that feeds him.
So I addressed that in the way that look at History of the World Part 2.
Oh,
that's all you need for Mel Brooks. If you're thinking like, oh, it's going to be great, a return to form, another classics getting revived. No, watch History of the World Part 2 on Hulu. Don't. And you'll see how bad it is. And also, too, my takeaway is Spaceballs 2 in on the joke, or has it become the joke? Because everything that it says in that synopsis about this and that and a new one and all this crap, it literally is that. And it's marketing itself like The Force Awakens, but it's doing it earnestly. You know, like that stupid elevator thing where they all come out and open their shirts and you got John Candy's kid and Bill Pullman's kid and all this shit. It's just The Force Awakens over again, but 12 years later. And I don't think the movie is aware that it's actually doing that. I think those people are so focused on like, we're bringing back Spaceballs and it's so great. But I have no hope for this movie because also, too, not to spoil the video, Spaceballs parodies something that's worth parodying. Everything now is a joke unto itself, and it's self-referential. So what do you get? How do you parody Disney without taking business shots at, hey, let's put a stupid inept chick in there and she gets a pass because she's a woman? They don't have the balls to put that in a movie. They won't. They'll just make it some other stupid joke about an old man or some other crap about Luke Skywalker. They'll probably have a commentary on the fans more than they'll have a commentary on Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what you're describing is basically Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. Like, those are the two guys that they parodied stuff that wasn't worth parodying. You know,
are they the guys that did like the Fast and Furious parody and
the Meet the Spartans, the Date movie, the all those.
Movie?
I don't think they did Epic Movie, but
you
they
don't
did
think
something. Yeah, they did a bunch of really horrible things that were. Oh yeah, they did do Epic Movie. They did Disaster Movie, Vampires Suck.
Those all were terrible.
Yeah, they're all terrible, but I mean, and that's what I'm worried about with Spaceballs, the new one. The only miracle that could come out of that is that they're earnest in trying to make fun of, you know, Star Wars and all the other sci-fi, and in doing so, they accidentally get it right with their wokeness or whatever ideology they got going on.
Well, it's like when Rob Liefeld when he created Blood Wolf as a parody of Lobo, and you're like, Lobo is already a parody. And a parody of a parody does like
he's
a parody
he's
of a
literally
laughing
already
stock.
a joke character, right?
Yeah, so like a joke of a joke, like the Disney Star Wars stuff is laughable. So
That's like trying to parody Deadpool. It's like Deadpool's already a parody, or at least now he is. Before, when he was originally created, he was literally just Deathstroke.
Yeah,
But,
and then you know, then he had a personality for a little while, thanks to
Yeah.
Joe Kelly and Fabian Nicenza. You know, they gave him a personality, and then I would even give some credit to
who get zero credit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I credit them all the time. Whenever anybody's like Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool, I'm like, is he though?
He created the design,
which is Spider-Man and
enough.
Deathstroke.
Yeah,
but like neither of the two books he worked on before Deadpool became popular had any of the personality of Deadpool that people, you know, like
attribute to him.
Yeah. Liefeld's an interesting case. Like, I don't like his art, never have. But sometimes he'll say stuff on his social media, mostly on his Instagram, where it's like, dude, stop being kind of likable and entertaining. Like,
well, sometimes
I can at
he's
least
like
justify my distaste for your work.
Well, sometimes he's dead on, and then other times he is batshit insane.
Off. Yeah, exactly.
Like his taste in movies rivals Richard Meier's terrible taste in movies.
Who's Richard Meyer?
Your boy Zach.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I mean, you'd be legitimately asking that question now anyway. Who's your boy Zach?
Ouch! I don't know who Richard Meyer was. I thought he was a real critic or something. I was like,
No, just like terrible taste in movies. And I get it. Like, look, his son's in Hollywood. He's gotta suck the, you know, he's got to juggle the corporate balls. You know, he doesn't want to damage. Yeah, Rob Liefeld. Oh, okay. No, I don't think Richard Meyer talks to his son.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Okay, so real quick, what happened with that guy? Like, I haven't heard or thought about him since before the pandemic. Is he just doing the same stuff? Is he still putting out books? Like,
I don't know. I stopped paying attention when he.
I don't believe he's doing the latter.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing books. The last one he did made like it was something really embarrassing. It was like $1,000 or something. Like, I don't know. It was really low. I could be confusing it with another campaign, but it did not do well. But you know, I mean, that's what happens when you don't deliver your books to your audience. People will put up with lateness, and obviously, you know, we all kind of have to deal with that sometimes. You know, I had to deal with it on Doomface 1. That's why I changed the way we're going to do Doomface 2 so that there's no delay, because I don't want that. But like, you make people wait years and years, and when they know the book is done, when Chuck Dixon's going like, no, I've seen the fully lettered book 2 years ago, and I don't know why it's out. You know, but anyway, that's not worth talking about.
Oh no, I just was asking, like,
yeah,
earnestly, because at one point I had streamed with him. He was supposed to be the third member of the High Council for a hot minute, so he's always kind of in my like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was when I remember when you first started doing the High Council. That's where I like discovered you. I was like, oh, I like this show. But yeah, Rob, terrible taste in movies. He's got a way overinflated sense of himself, and I get it to a degree. The dude has sold a lot of comics.
He knows how to market himself. I'll give him that.
Yeah, and his stuff is always interesting to look at. Like, you're never looking at it and going like, man, this is great, or this is even good, but it's always interesting. Like, wow, this is what you're doing, huh? This is what's selling. Is you did a static pose, 3 panels that are face close-ups that are almost identical. No backgrounds, and then a tiny little action shot at the bottom. Repeat, you know, like multiple times.
One of the recent issues of like the Youngblood reboot or whatever sequel that he's doing currently had like more or less like reused panels from older issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, my dude, what are we doing here? What is taking up all of your time? You can't just draw. And I say
Rob, I feel like
draw.
Rob, I feel like, is always delivering pages where he's like, that's good enough for who it's for.
Oh, God.
But you know, he has that kind of like, oh, I created Deadpool, and it's like, you didn't really, and even Cable, like, he didn't get interesting until after you were gone. All these people contributed these things that made these characters click with people that you had nothing to do with, and it's evidenced by the fact that nobody on Youngblood is anybody's favorite character, you know, favorite comic book character. Like, I'll buy the figures. I'll go out and I'll buy Shaft and I'll buy Die Hard because I think that they look neat, and I'll put them in my collection. You know, because my imagination will come up with better stories for them than Rob ever has, just looking at them on a shelf. But
I mean, he named 2 characters after famous movies. I mean,
right? That is like Clint Eastwood, the Deadpool. Or, you know, Clint Eastwood in the Dirty Harry, the Deadpool.
Yep.
That's a good movie. It's got Jim Carrey dancing to Welcome to the Jungle.
It does.
Before he overdoses on drugs, yeah.
Yeah, and his face goes rubbery. Look, Rob Liefeld represents my least favorite era of comics. That's the thing, like, I would love to work with other people and stuff, but my rule of thumb is like, if you're trying to make shit that's like the 90s books, don't talk to me. Don't try to pitch me your book. Like, so many people make derivative 90s looking comics, and you might look at it and go, Jeff, but I love those books. Do you, or did you love being a kid and you were happier? Like, because like,
or you happen to read just the handful of ones that weren't crap.
Yeah, like, look, I almost said The Death of Superman. I was like, wait, no, that book sucks too. Look, I stopped reading Spider-Man in the 90s. Like, when I do my, what do you call something script? You're the smartest one here. When you do something every 4 to 5 years, what is that called? Does that have a name? But every 5 years or so, I will read.
But you're on a cycle, and I mean, I would say that the best 90s comics that I can recall that weren't very 90s comics were some of the Legends of the Dark Knight.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
no, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that came out, and I understand, like, if you want to capture the energy of the 90s.
Yes.
Because it was like, but you know, like, there's,
don't be trying to capture most of the narrative quality.
Yeah, no, because the stories got real bad. Like, it just, you know, Image knew that they could just put out things, and especially Rob was just spamming out so many books that were just about nothing.
I mean,
well,
that's
they're really
what
hard
Youngblood is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the appeal because I was a kid back then, and like, I remember being interested in comic books, but I couldn't. And I don't have a reading disability, but I couldn't follow his books. There's a lot of these Image guys, and I hate to say it too, I love Jim Lee. He's one of the best ever, but his books don't have a lot of clarity. Like, when I buy, I wish I had it next to me. I have this like Justice League penciled, where it's from the New 52. It's all just the pencils. It's wonderful, but I really have to sit and look at that because like a lot of it kind of blends together before it gets inked, and some of it's just like
Overstimulating
stuff. It's overstimulating, and I think a lot of it's just like too much. He's trying to convey too much. Like detail's great, but I think guys like Alex Toth or even Ramita, when he does simpler stuff, like I don't think a comic panel needs to be so dense like a movie panel. You know, sometimes a wide open space tells a better story, and sometimes you can do it in a different way. I'm not critiquing Jim Lee.
Scott Williams elevates a lot of Lee's work.
He does. Yeah. And when people say like, "Oh, you're top,"
as does Alex Sinclair.
When people say like the top X-Men artists, you know, and they always have Jim Lee like right up at the top, like, oh, like Jim Lee's number one. For me, he's not. For me,
I like Will Spartatio more.
I like Wills more. I like Silvestri.
John Byrne's the best.
Silvestri's probably my favorite. John Byrne and Joe Madeira, all ahead of Jim Lee.
Yeah, I'd put Lee in top 5.
I can't. Like, he could. Well, I don't know, because I like Paul Smith a lot too.
Paul Smith is good. Very clean.
Dave
I didn't
Cockrum?
Popular. I like John Romita Jr. as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that artist. Whenever he was shitting on his Spider-Man cover, I was in Facebook posts going, I want to buy his cover the most. The one where he's like with his arms out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that cover. They didn't cancel it, right?
No, they acted like they said they were, and then they kind of backtracked, and it was a big mess.
Yeah. Stop listening to social media, Marvel. Those people don't buy your books. They're just a bunch of losers that have an opinion on everything.
No, they just go to read all comics online. That's all they do.
That site got shut down, Andrew. They cannot go there anymore.
Well, they go somewhere else. That's probably.
I got a follow-up one. If you're curious, I won't say it on air because I don't want it to get shut down. But I don't like to touch my comics, so I go to these websites when I'm like, oh man, I really need to get a reference photo of something from Frank Miller. Let's just go here and click down real quick. Sorry, I bought your books, but I'm not going to pull them out of the library every time I want to draw something.
I wonder if Doomface is up already. You know, people were like telling you, like, don't do a digital copy because then they're just going to rip it and they're going to put it online, you know, for free. And I'm like, I honestly don't care. I was like, I don't care.
The others, but I'm the flip side of that because I don't like. I offer a lot of value in the book, but a lot of the value comes from the physical materials it's made of. Like that's what I pride myself on. Like my book, pick it up. It's hefty. It's perfect bound. It's got a spine. It's got all this shit. When you do the digital version, one, I don't want to give it away for free because that's my work. I put in the time. You know, I got a lot of people that want to read the book, and I'm grateful. But the digital stuff, man, you got to protect it with DRM and do all this other bullshit. It's just.
I see, but here's the reason I didn't care, because if it gets out, like right now, my biggest struggle is getting people to know about it. Mm-hmm. So if it gets put online and it spreads like wildfire, you know, there's going to be some people who are going to be like, I want to own a physical copy of that. And so, you know, they'll seek it out. And then maybe they'll get involved with the future campaigns.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I did digital for Wilkbusters. I didn't do it for Stealing Solo 1 and 2, and I won't do it for Frankenfisher unless literally I got 1,000 emails that said, Jeff, I'll buy one right now.
Mm-hmm. I like when I back Kickstarters, and I mostly back Kickstarters these days because I find it to be more reliable than Indiegogo. As a buyer, as a backer, mm-hmm. right? I can't speak as a creator, as somebody who has to deal with the platform on the back end. That's an entirely different thing. But I like when creators will offer like, hey, for a $5 add-on, here's the digital version, mm-hmm. right? And I'll do that in a heartbeat, right? I'm like, $5, whatever. Like I've spent more than that on coffee, mm-hmm. easy. And the coffee lasts me about 5 minutes anyway. Like the book will at least last me longer than that. And if I want to reread it, I can read a digital version and not mess up the physical floppy after having sealed the bag and board and put it in my my independent like crowdfunding short box that I have, you know, because I like to keep all my books pristine. So usually on rereads, if I have a digital option, I'll do that unless it's something I have in trade. Then mm-hmm. you know, I'll pull up the trade. But that's because the trades are there for reading specifically.
Yeah, that's how Marvel Masterworks are for me, dude. I never touch it. I have Ditko Spider-Mans, lots of them. I ain't touching them. When I bought them, they showed them to me that they were fully intact. There were no loose pages, blah, blah, blah. Cool. But I don't need, like when I buy a Spider-Man #1, I'll have it, not even graded. I'll have somebody go through it for me, show it to me, and that's it. I'll touch it once, I'll own it, and it'll be in a box to say I own Spider-Man #1.
You'll touch it once, you'll touch it twice.
Oh, God. Now you got me
won't let go.
Pretty in Pink.
On that note, I have got to go tonight, guys. But
all right,
you guys keep having fun, and I will catch up with you later.
Hit me up tomorrow, Aaron. We gotta get together.
Yeah, we'll do. Tomorrow's a super busy day for me, but I'll hit your email tonight.
Okay. Sometime
and then
this week.
Yeah,
Sometime this week at least.
We'll definitely talk tomorrow. It'll just be afternoon.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Later, buddy.
Later.
All right, let's check in with the audience. We have Goku McDuck here. Thank you, Goku, for all your messages. Goku says, sorry I'm late. I was 10 years old in 1993. Went with my father that summer to watch Jurassic Park. It blew me away. Thank you, Mr. Sam Neill, R.I.P.
I was not 10 years old in 1993. However, I saw it in 94 on VHS. No, I saw it in 93 on VHS, I think. Because I moved to the West Coast in 94. And I saw it on VHS at my grandfather's house with my dad, my uncle, and my grandpa. I distinctly remember my mom being like, no, that movie's probably too scary for him. Like, I'm a 4 or 5 year old boy, right? I just want to watch dinosaurs, right? And, of course, my dad and uncle and grandpa were all like, it'll be fine. It's dinosaurs. And yes, I was fine. I was sitting like 3 feet away from that old TV, just glued to it, right? That was a wonderful, wonderful memory with my my extended family. And that's the first live action film I ever saw.
So I saw Jurassic Park in theaters in 2013 for the first time. I never saw that movie until it turned 10. Like, I was late to the party. I saw The Lost World as soon as it came out on video. And then I don't know why, but I went and saw Jurassic Park 3 in theaters. But I never saw the first one until 2013 for the 10th anniversary. Or no,
Wow.
20th anniversary. Sorry, the 20th anniversary.
I don't know how to feel right now.
You have no room to talk. Literally.
No. Let's no. Hold up. Let's not pretend like Jurassic Park is on the same playing field with these other films that y'all give me grief for not having seen. Jurassic Park was a world phenomenon. Huh?
Didn't you miss The Matrix or something big?
No, I saw the first Matrix when it came out. And the second one and third one, unfortunately.
You say
Still
Highlander?
haven't seen the fourth one.
Yeah.
There should only be one.
I've seen part of the old series.
Oh, Highlander's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Kurgan, man. That remake's gonna be. I'm curious because I know how the audience feels about Henry Cavill.
He's
I like him as
got
an
a
actor.
very loyal audience, but the poor guy, he's just hasn't been a bankable star.
I'll see it because I do like Henry Cavill.
Which sucks that he's not a bankable star because, like, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I thought that was.
I still need to see that. That's the Guy Ritchie film, right?
Yep.
I heard that was really good. It looked fun from the trailers. I love Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's one of my favorite spy films ever.
I saw it in theaters. I loved it.
Yeah. So I hope Highlander is good, especially
Also,
for the people who are actual fans of that IP.
Okay, so I don't know how many people are fans of the whole IP because Highlander is awesome. Highlander 2: The Quickening is a punchline, and the TV show's okay. Like
Highlander 3 is not bad. It's got a really hot chick in it.
that puts butts in seats, but the fourth one's terrible.
Oh God, yeah.
With Edge from the WWF. Dude, I was dropped a couple times in the show. I've been watching old episodes, and like the last episode I watched, Christopher Lambert, Adrian Paul, and the woman from Highlander Endgame show up, and they do like a whole bit. So I went on YouTube and I watched the entire scene. That movie looks really cheesy. It looks like an episode of Hercules: The Legendary Journey. So
yeah, they shot it on a nothing budget.
The weird thing is, though, if you look up the budget, it says it's like $28 million.
I know.
Where did that money
didn't
go?
go on the film. I'll put it to you that way.
Oh, okay. I guess Christopher Lambert is expensive. His cheese budget is through the roof.
He's French. They like dairy.
Yeah. Andrew, I know I didn't see Jurassic Park until 2013, but I do own it on 4K. So at least I own it.
Okay. Well, I can't say that. I have the trilogy, the first trilogy on DVD because in the 2000s they released a 3-disc set that was the first 3 films, and it was in a shiny metallic red and silver box.
I remember that
had all 3 of them. I've got that, and then I have World on Blu-ray, and that's it. So I just probably this holiday season when Amazon does their usual like Black Friday or whatever Christmas sales, I'll just grab the 6-film 4K set because I need to own those on 4K. I don't buy everything on 4K, but that is one of those franchises that I need to, because it's one of my 3 favorite film franchises.
The only thing I bought really this summer are movies. I'm waiting on The Breakfast Club will get here tomorrow. And then
Breakfast Club.
Dude, the Criterion collections are it's every summer they do the Criterion sale. It's 50% off all their movies. So
shoot. Okay.
That's why I bought Videodrome. That,
Videodrome's awesome.
I got to pay attention to that then for the older Godzilla Criterion collections then.
It's on sale right now. So you need to go to Amazon and look because it's 50% off. They don't get much cheaper. They don't get cheaper. They do the sale every year. See, folks, physical media should not die. And I know it takes up so much space. It doesn't really, though. It takes up too much space? Pokemon cards. And the fact that grown men are waiting outside my local grocery store to get the newest release at midnight. Stop. I'm making a whole video on shit. Pokemon, the franchise that never dies. Fuck it. I hate Pokemon now. I'm almost 40, and it came out when I was in grade school, and people my age are still playing that damn game. Look, I caught a Vulpix or whatever. It's like,
how many Pokemon are they up to now? Like 700 or something?
Oh no, they're over 1,000.
They're over 1,000. So they can dominate the humanity in this world.
Yeah, the Kanto region is no longer the only region.
Nope, there's 10 of them as of next year when the 10th. No, there's already more than 10 technically if you count the other games that aren't the mainline games. I still like Pokemon. I still play it whenever it comes out, but I get how a lot of people have just said, I'm over it. I'm done. I get it.
I just find it weird how rabid grown men my age are over like cards. Like I get
that I think is completely retarded when people like, especially the scalpers, like at the end of the day, like guys, if you are somebody who's trying to play the game competitively, like the TCG, and you're going to tournaments and things like that, I get wanting to get all the cards you need. It's honestly usually more reliable and cheaper to just like buy the individual cards you need offline than to just buy up a bunch of boxes and leave nothing for kids who ultimately this stuff is made for. And I have zero respect for that. I have zero respect for scalpers. Like scalpers are fandom cancer.
They need to be okay. I don't know if I'll put it in my video, but when I went to Target the other day to film, there was some guy trying to scalp Pokemon Cheez-Its. He was like looking for some rare bag and was like taking them all down. I filmed the fucking guy. I was like, this is lame. So I just stood there like I was doing something else, and I filmed him like hoarding Pokemon Cheez-Its. Maybe I'll blur out his face or something, but that kind of stuff bothers me. It's lame. Like
that's pathetic.
It's pathetic and stupid. And look, like you hit the nail on the head. This shit's for kids. I get it that kids don't have grown-up money to buy all this nostalgic crap, but like the card game really is like kids are into that shit. I don't know if anybody plays it anymore. I just see dudes flipping it because of Logan Paul and all this dumb shit. Like geek culture has been ruined by corporations and shitheads. It's equal. Like your definition of a shithead might vary, but mine is the kind of guy, and it's mostly dudes, that like go in, they don't have a normal job, so they go in at 7 a.m., they hoard up all the Pokemon cards. Oh, let me cut you a deal. Fuck you. The deal is don't buy it and let me pay retail, you asshole. I like that these stores are limiting it. Like, I wish that Wizards of the Coast or whoever owns Pokemon cards makes it to get certain things, you have to buy it online, one per address, no exception, like Nintendo. That shit's got to change, man. It's getting stupid. Like, at my local Meijer, there are like people fighting with the grocery store because the grocery store won't let them wait in the store for 12 hours. Like, that's why I sound so frustrated. Like, dude, why are you mad over this? Because people are like really fucking it up for other people.
Scalpers are awful and they make things more difficult. I'm not even a parent yet, but like it makes it incredibly difficult. Imagine being like a parent who, really wants to, get their kids something for their birthday or for Christmas or whatever, right? Like, and you have grown ass men that are shitheads that are just scalping all of this crap and then hawking it for 5 or 10 times MSRP on eBay. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a free market capitalist, but I also don't believe in just being a shithead.
That's what these people are.
Yeah.
It's any of the fandom stuff that like, and it extends into like businesses too. Like some of this stuff where you're just like, oh, you're just like the dude that goes to Target and pays retail, and then you want me to pay 10 times at your store. Like, oh, that's how business works. Not really, because you don't need to exist for this chain of retail. You just put yourself in the way of other people. So, sorry, that was an aside. In my videos, I rant about scalpers all the time, like the action figure ones. Oh, bro, about the new Ultimate Spider or the new Maximum Spider-Man, I'll cut you a deal. Asshole, leave it on the shelf. I love, though, my favorite thing, and this is what happens, like, the wrestling people are the worst, because I'm a wrestling person. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt. I'm going to sound like a hypocrite for a minute, but I don't like other wrestling fans because they're at a certain level that bothers me. And they'll hoard figures of dudes that aren't in the WWE. And then when the guy will sign with the WWE again and Mattel makes their toys and their toys go down and down, they fucking cry. Oh, my Chris Jericho lost value. Don't invest in a wrestling figure, dude. None of this shit is an investment. This is just fun. Like, if you're investing in a Jericho toy, you eat a dick is right.
Yeah, no, that pisses me off. That's one of those issues that I've had with a lot of retailers over the last few years. Like, you'll have McFarlane, for example. We were talking about when Aaron was still here, the new Kid Flash figure that he put out, and me, obviously, the huge Speedster and Flash family fan. Like, I need that. I need to get that. $26 figure MSRP at Walmart. It's already sold out because, of course, it is, at least online. People are selling it for $50 on eBay already, right? And that just came out like this week.
Is that what Todd McFarlane was doing in those videos?
I'm not sure. But I know at least one thing for sure, and that's that every single time over the course of the last at least 2 years, McFarlane has released a new DC figure that is something I'm remotely interested in. The second it goes up for pre-order, I'll click the link, whether it's to Walmart or Target or Amazon, already out of stock. And it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Be faster than light? I'm not the Flash.
You also want to be very careful when it comes to Walmart pre-orders, because of the last, let's say, 10 Walmart figures I pre-ordered, all 10 got canceled. Like Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero, all these wrestlers, I was like, oh, I'll get these, got them right away. Or, like, for example, that Monday Night War Rock that Aaron was talking about, I pre-ordered on a Walmart. It just never came. I found it in the store, and it just, it's still coming. So I hate, Walmart's the worst. Their website's shit. But I took a screenshot of what you sent me. When I'm out, I'll look for that Kid Flash for you, no problem.
Yeah, let me know, and I'll shoot you whatever.
Yeah, we'll worry about that when we get there. I'm going to find it first, so it's not a problem. Goku McDuck, thank you very much for your patience. He also said that time when we went to see Jurassic Park at the end, as Dr. Grant and the rest left the island on the chopper, and the theme began to play, the whole theater stood up and clapped. Now the Jurassic Park theme feels like a farewell to Sam Neill, and sadly now it's ScarJo's franchise, and she played her daughter, with, and she played his daughter in some film. So we'll talk about those two first. Yeah, Jurassic Park is as good as everybody says. I don't really have anything new to add or a hot take. I enjoy it. It looks.
I love the first film.
Yeah,
I love The Lost World. I don't love Jurassic Park 3. I love Jurassic World. I like Fallen Kingdom, and I really like Dominion. And if Aaron was here, he'd be giving me endless grief for that. But I love most of the
motorcycle chase.
No, that's the second one. That's no, wait. Yes, that is Dominion.
And the lesbian pilot.
Yeah,
or the black lady pilot.
The chick who could actually probably play a pretty decent Storm, if she was cast as her, because she's got the look for it. But I love those films.
We saw them in theaters when I lived out west, and I told you my neighbor worked at Universal. He told me what a nightmare those things were. Like, before the last one came out, he's like, there are so many problems with this movie. It's been reshot so many times. At one point it was this, at one point it was that. I'm like, well, I hope the thing that comes out ain't that bad. I don't remember liking that one, man.
A lot of people don't like the last two. Not counting the ScarJo one, Jurassic World Rebirth. So we'll set that one over here. Over here is the first 6. a lot of people don't like Fallen Kingdom or Dominion, and that's fine. I'm kind of a black sheep in that, and I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that.
I'll just stick with the original one. But it's funny that our friend Goku brought up the theme song. That was my first takeaway when I saw it in theaters. I was like, man, they play this theme a lot. That dun 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 dun, and it's a good song. But you know where they play it too much is at Universal Studios.
Oh,
like
it's their theme song.
Oh, do they just have it on loop?
Yes, they do have it on loop
God.
every 5 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, it's really cool when you come down the escalator and you're like, there's the Jurassic Park ride. You can smell the theme park food. You're all excited. It's great. And then like you've ridden Transformers and the Mummy and the theme plays. And then you go to Nintendo World and you come back and the theme plays again and you ride the ride. That's the tram thing. And the theme plays the whole time. Like, I like the music. John Williams, 10 out of 10, but like 5 times a day is enough for me.
I feel like that's something that you should have only playing during specific events or like on the hour at very specific hours, right? Instead of just on constant.
It'll be like, thank you for coming to Universal Studios. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. As amazing as that song is, like, there's no such thing as a song that you don't get sick of if it's playing on loop 24/7.
Axel F.
Axel F is pretty good. I will say the opening theme to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, that gets overplayed a lot.
Is that the Richard Marx song? No, who sings that song?
It's not. Well, I mean, not the Bryan Adams version. That
Bryan Adams, okay.
too much. But no, like there's just the musical interlude that I think Gramercy Films used it for their opening. No, not Gramercy. Morgan
Creek.
Morgan Creek used it for their opening for years.
Oh, I know exactly what that music is. I didn't realize that was from Robin Hood.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Look, the only Robin Hood movie I like is Robin Hood Men in Tights, or was it Errol
one of my favorite ones too.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, in the video today, folks, I parody Robin Hood Men in Tights 2 Electric Boogaloo. Make sure you check it out to see the wonderful breakdancing Robin Hood.
Oh, worth a watch.
Robin Hood Men in Tights, extra tights.
Yeah.
Wait, is that already live? Is that video already live?
It went out at 7:15 tonight.
Why didn't I get a notification for that?
Because it's YouTube.
Yeah. They're making everything else different, but it's also
I literally have notifications set to all.
Huh. Well,
freaking YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you, though, Goku. Let's read what other Goku message he says. And yeah, I keep telling Doomcock that I blame Nolan that we didn't get a proper DC cinematic universe way early in the mid-2000s. He is pretentious. How do you guys feel about that? Here's the
I wouldn't want a Nolan DC cinematic universe.
The scuttlebutt around WB was that Superman Returns was supposed to eventually pair into with what Nolan was doing with Batman Begins, because some of the visual stylings in the Metropolis set took influence from the areas of Chicago that Nolan had shot the Batman Begins in. And because Superman did not perform so well and also had that rolled in budget from all previous attempts to trying to make it, they decided to just pull back and say, yeah, we probably can't make a cinematic universe at this time.
That's not a bad movie either.
No, Returns has got a lot of positive to it. It's just misses it takes some swings and it really misses at some points. I mean, it has one of the best airplane saves you've seen Superman do.
Easily. It's like, amazing.
Just the cinematography and the shot alone of like Lois Lane in the back of the plane. She glances out the window and you just see the Superman just fly by. And it completely shifts the entire tone, because everybody in the audience knows, oh, as intense as this was, everything's going to be okay, but how is it going to be okay? And you just have that, like, there's a little euphoria that goes through your body when you realize, oh, yep, Superman's here to save the day. Wouldn't it be great if we had something like that in real life?
Yeah.
I didn't love Superman Returns, but I liked Brandon Routh and bought those figures.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah. You should watch him on a show called The Rookie, where he plays this racist cop. It's really jarring because he goes from super nice
He's on
guy,
The Rookie with Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, for a couple episodes. He's this bad guy. He just comes out of nowhere. Like, oh, shit, Superman's on the show? And then he becomes this racist cop. You're like, oh, my God. And it's like oddly real. And I'm like, I didn't know this dude could act like this. I'm worried that he's really, an asshole. So.
No, he's a really humble guy. I've bumped into his wife a couple of times. I keep forgetting her name, but she's just tiny. But she's
on Dexter.
Yeah, she was on Dexter. She's cute as a button, really polite. Yeah.
Well, good for Brandon Routh, man. I see that people show up to the cons for him like big, so I'm glad he's found that career too. I would have liked to have seen the crossover because I really did like the first two Nolan Batman movies, especially Begins. That's my go-to. But how do you make shit fit in that world? I wish Warner Brothers would have just been like. The weird part is, like, I don't like the Snyderverse, but I like the Batman stuff. I would have sat through more Snyder crap if it would have been like that Batman, like Ben Affleck directed it and played it. I could have tolerated.
It would have been more coherent.
The Snyderverse would have benefited so much from Zack Snyder having zero creative input beyond just the cinematography. Because he's good at that.
How do you feel about James Gunn now that you've seen Supergirl and he had I know he doesn't direct that movie, but he's got a direction. He controls it all.
He still had a heavy hand in the final cut that came out for the Supergirl film. Look,
did you watch it?
Yeah, no, I saw it at the early showing. I saw the Thursday IMAX showing. I walked out of that. Thankfully, I was a realist. As much as I wanted to love the film because I love Supergirl, I walked in being like, this is probably going to be at best a very mixed bag. And I walked out and I was like, that was at best a very mixed bag. That was not a good movie. I still love Superman. I still love his Superman film. There's a bunch of things I would have done different that I would have preferred, but I still love that movie. I'm not sold on Gunn's universe. And I'm not a Gunn fan to begin with. I only truly love the first Guardians film. I like a couple of things about the second, and I like a handful of things about the third. Adam Warlock is not one of them. They messed that up big time. But
do we think that rumor is true from the Lanterns that they had to take down the Twitter account?
Oh, because they were reporting that supposedly there was a leak that Hal Jordan dies
in the first episode
or whatever. Yeah.
I think it's true. That's the type of bullshit.
It's possible. Like, if you take it down that fast, there is at least a plausibility that there is a validity to that, right? Whether that actually ends up being the case, I don't know. I couldn't say. I don't work in the industry. I don't work for Warner's. If I did, I would hopefully have some pull to actually have a proper Green Lantern representation, but that's not what we're getting.
Yeah, I don't know yet. One of the things that I've noticed is that, and I saw this with Superman, but I really saw it with Supergirl. That is, there is definitely an editing problem in these movies. Some stuff is over edited, some stuff is mixed. I am shocked. Well, not entirely shocked, but I was surprised that Jason Momoa essentially phoned in Lobo in that movie. And on top of that, you hurt your film when you don't make your villain as memorable as possible, or even give them enough focus to really want to see the hero triumph over them. And yeah, it's just it was a big swing and a miss, because I was looking, I saw the film and I was thinking about it for a while, and I looked at it objectively. And if you write down all the plot points and everything on paper, it tracks. But the execution just does not feel like a Craig Gillespie film. It feels like he's trying to emulate something similar to what James Gunn does. And the thing is, you trample over you trample over the whole idea of I'm doing this to save my dog. I'm also doing this because these criminals are doing something absolutely horrific within the galaxy. And because the universe is so vast, crime can escape the purview of the Green Lanterns. That's part of what makes the Green Lanterns interesting, is that they can't be everywhere all at once. And that's where you get those dynamic stories. And they just dropped the ball a lot. And I feel sorry for Millie Alcock, because I found a performance of that movie to be phenomenal. But there's just nothing else going on.
None of my issues with that movie have to do with the actors.
Yeah.
The script is just bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I feared with the Tom King stuff.
Is an acting, that Lobo suit looked like shit. You could see the rubber abs. It looked like a joke. I was like, is this really on screen? And
when he's in the jail cells, did they shoot that afterwards? Because it doesn't feel like it connects with, what's her name when she's in the other cell. They just felt so disconnected. the way it was staged and
Well,
done.
wasn't there extra shooting that was done for it?
For Lobo, yes, but
Because
from my
people were
understanding is
wanting
that
more Lobo.
what I understand is that most of that was in the middle act, not towards the climax.
Yeah.
But the way that this stuff happened there, where he just appears in a jail cell and you don't, is just really.
Well, the telling thing is that, at least from what I understand, and I talked about this with my buddy Spencer on our comic book podcast that we have on Thursday nights. There were 2 versions of this film, at least, neither of which tested above like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 at most. And that says something. Like
That's
something
the
went
Marvel
horrid.
threshold. If you test above a 6, it's a go, and that's weird.
Oh, man, you gotta raise the bar, because clearly this movie was not a 6 for me. That, again, I think all the actors did a fine job with what they were given, but the script was just not good.
I will say it
I
was a lot
loved
less
Millie
pretentious
Alcock in
than-
the suit.
It was so much less pretentious than what Tom King had written in Woman of Tomorrow.
Well, yeah, my favorite thing around this movie was people saying that, oh, this movie butchers Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow. I'm like, that is the greatest selling point I've heard yet for this movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know. I was it was funny because like when I originally read it, I'm like, oh, this is, like a Western, True Grit, that type of thing. And then later I see some commentaries where Tom King says, yeah, I just ripped off True Grit, made it this way. And I watched the original True Grit, and it's like, yeah, Tom King did not get True Grit at all. Like,
Tom King's not a good writer.
No, he lifts some stories and then repurposes them for
he
DC,
lifts stories, but you can lift stories, or at least lift themes from stories, and do it effectively and play with that, as long as you actually understand what makes that story work. If you don't understand what makes that story work, you are operating off of just your very limited perception of that story. And oftentimes you're going to completely miss the mark.
Well, yeah, it's a superficial approach to it. It's like when people say, oh, I just want a Blade movie where he kills vampires. It's like, we had that TNT series. Nobody watched it. It sucks.
That's the surface level thing. We want to see that, but what else is there?
Right? Yeah. There's more to Blade than just him killing vampires. Yeah, and even for the Supergirl side of things, one like it felt like it was trying to be a little Hitchhiker's Guide. Space is weird because it's weird. Yeah, sure. But it was lacking.
It had a very Guardians feel to it.
It completely kind of trampled over Kara's journey of, like, instead of her trying to run away from the things that are familiar to her and what she could do to have this new life, it kind of trampled over that, because Clark's like, doing all the outreach, saying, hey, we miss you and all that stuff. And then she finally goes through this journey where she realizes, like, you know what? Yeah, I'm alive. I got this advantage. I've helped this young girl succumb to whatever type of revenge plot she has. I've taken on the burden for myself because that's what I think I should do. And instead of her coming to focus saying, you know what, I probably need to get a better sense of what this actually is and kind of accept that this is my situation now and make the best of it, and then show up to Clark and basically say, yeah, I'm going to stick around for a while, and I'd appreciate if I can still crash on your couch or something. Like, just a little bit more on that might have been better for the script, because overall, like, again, even though Woman of Tomorrow is a really horrible comic book, the story of True Grit, the story of a revenge, and then coming to terms with the fact that's not always a solution, is a good story on concept. But
yes, and that can work very well with superheroes, especially.
While concept is king, unfortunately, I have to say that I put this on my Patreon a lot. Execution is the emperor. Doesn't matter how good of an idea you have, if you cannot figure out the best way to nail it to your skill set, you're just pissing away a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't. Tom King didn't reinvent the wheel. He didn't break the mold and do something new with Supergirl in terms of, like, Kara is struggling with the fact that she is a survivor and not a survivor in the same sense that Clark is, that Cal is, right? He doesn't remember, right? She does. That's been done. It was done in this run in the early 2000s, and it's about 100 times better. And that's even counting the fact that Jeff Lubb is one of the writers.
That's a good burn.
That is a good burn.
You're welcome. I'm world class.
You are. I just love the online discourse that it's all haters and bigots, like every time. You know,
nobody wanted to love this movie more than me.
Nobody wanted to watch the movie. That's the problem.
I walked out of it and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, I'm not surprised that it's not doing well. It's not connecting with audiences. I'm a little surprised
it's not doing as well, but that has to do with the fact that for the last 5 weeks, I've been to every major city in Canada and the United States, and I had not seen a single movie advertisement anywhere. It's all been FIFA. All of it. I think I saw one poster for Scary Movie 6 in all my travels.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's wherever advertisements. If there's a FIFA in your city or in your region, you were not getting a television show advertisement anywhere. You weren't getting a film advertisement anywhere. You weren't getting anything. It was all FIFA stuff. And I was talking to one of my buddies who's over in marketing at Sony, and they said, yeah, not a single studio spent much for the month of June because of all the FIFA stuff going out there. So if you're like a small rural town somewhere else, or a little modest city, you probably saw some advertising because you were too far away from FIFA to even have them give a damn about you guys. Sadly, you probably saw a bunch, but anywhere else in your major cities, almost non-existent. I was shocked, absolutely shocked.
Because I guess I hadn't even noticed because I'm so keyed in on stuff. Like I know Spider-Man's out at the end of the month. Don't really know.
Oh shoot, that's right.
Dude, did you see that clip online of him fighting the Hulk with the power glove?
I did.
Spider-Man
it's like a
this movie.
3-second clip, but yeah, I saw that.
I kind of rolled my eyes because Spider-Man has like roughly almost 1,000 amazing issues. Let's say there's like
it's about to be 1,000 amazing issues.
Yeah, let's just say there's like 4,000 Spider-Man comics out there. We'll just pick a random ass number over everything he's ever been in. Let's just say 4,000.
Yeah.
They keep milking the shittiest stuff. Like seriously, the fucking Captain Universe storyline is so lame. Kevin Feige probably looks at this stuff and goes, "Oh, it's so cool." And Todd McFarlane drew Spider-Man uppercutting the Hulk. No, it's not that cool, man. It's not a great drawing, and it's not a great story, and it's not a great idea to put into a movie. Because now all these movies are lame because they don't have a good villain. The first Avengers works because it has Loki. The Infinity War and Infinity Endgame work because Thanos exists. But the rest of them, for the most part, have lame villains that are nobody characters. And it's just hero fighting hero. And that shit expired before the pandemic. Like, Civil War was awesome. I was on board with watching them fight. But then it was done. And now we're just getting back to this. And then we're going to have to watch them fight in Secret Wars, which isn't even that great of a book. It's more nostalgia and toy line shit than it is great comic book storytelling. Even Jim Shooter, the dude that created that shit, will tell you it's not that great. Like, I'm not giving you a hot take here. But all we're doing is we're just adapted crap. Like, all right, we don't need to do the kid who collects Spider-Man on film because it wouldn't make sense. We don't need to do whatever happened to Crusher Hogan because it wouldn't make much sense. But, like, I don't know. Couldn't we tell a good, mysterious, intriguing story? Because I get that we talked about.
Give me Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, and deal with the death issue. Like, give me. Well, I think Kraven's Last Hunt needs to be like a 3-arc movie or a 3-arc.
A 3-part. I know what you mean.
Not even like a 3-part movie where it's like Kraven appears, like Spider-Man. Let's say he's fighting the Lizard or I know the Rhino is a guy in a suit, but let's say Spider-Man's fighting some creature character that he normally would fight, right? Kraven should be hired to hunt the creature. Kraven is this grand, proud hunter. Spider-Man ends up stealing his thunder. Kraven goes home defeated. That's how that ends. Later on, he should come back to try to do something again. Spider-Man embarrasses him again. And then the third one is then when he should do Kraven's Last Hunt, beat him, kill himself, all that crap. Like, don't rush that story. It's like when you rush the Dark Phoenix and X-Men. I even love that. That's
you bring back the same writer.
I know. The books are great. I hated the movie every time. X-Men 3, shit movie. X-Men Dark Phoenix, garbage movie.
How do you mess it up twice? Or at least, how do you let the same dude that messed it up the first time mess it up the second time? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Wait, Brett Ratner didn't direct Dark Phoenix?
He was still part of it, wasn't he?
No, he's just X-Men 3.
Didn't Kinberg direct?
No, Kinberg wrote and directed Dark Phoenix, yeah.
I could have sworn he was still attached to that one. Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm willing to admit that.
I thought he got in. I thought he's been in director's jail for a while there.
I could have sworn
Didn't he just
was
make
still
something
attached.
last year?
I think so. I think that was like his return.
Never look. I love Money Talks and Rush Hour, but I don't really like many Brett Ratner movies. Can't really name many Brett Ratner movies.
I can name more Uwe Boll movies, I think.
Have you guys heard the discourse around Citizen Vigilante? Did we talk about that on the show?
No, but I saw the movie. It's horrible, but I understand why people like it.
That's what I wanted to ask. Is it really a piece of shit, or does it get a pass because it's got the right ideas?
It's got a pass because it's got the right ideas to the right audience, but it is a piece of crap movie. Like, it's horribly shot, makes no sense. There's no inclination or motivation, and you don't even get enough good examples of the very thing that the Citizen Vigilante is fighting against.
Okay, you're right, Script. You're right. He wasn't part of that. I don't know why I remember that.
We need a T-shirt that just says "Script is always right."
I don't want to be always right. I hate
not always, but he is very frequently, especially with
my average is
actual
way
industry
too good,
stuff.
and I don't like that. It's like I'd like to be more 50-50.
So who's winning the World Cup, man? I'm going to put money on it because whatever you tell me is
we're starting to put money on this.
Who are the last few teams?
You got to be
Spain
reliable.
just won today.
Yeah.
I was at dinner and I was like, "Oh, look, the World Cup!" And then I turned around and ate my dinner. I'm sorry, folks. I watched America. Once they got eliminated, I was like, "I'm done." We're not the world's greatest right now. Things aren't that great, but I was still rooting for. I was like, "Come on, USA! We could really get over a lot of shit if we won that FIFA World Cup."
Yeah, I found out 2.5 weeks ago that my hotel room was right next door to Ronaldo's. I had no idea. And I actually also learned that week who Ronaldo was, because I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You could have me sit next to him, that dude Messi, and like 20 other famous soccer players. The only one I would know in a lineup is David Beckham. I do not follow soccer at all. I only know him because he's in commercials and married to a Spice Girl.
Yeah, Pele and
Pele's dead though, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's not around anymore.
Like, I know who Pele was. I know who Mia Hamm was or is. She's still alive, right?
All right, at least we cleared that up.
Yeah, like I'm
not. Pele is one of the greatest people to ever hit the pitch.
We had to learn about him in school because he was relevant. So
yeah,
I don't dislike soccer. I get that it's a world sport. I just
I dig it too.
I played it for over a decade.
I just don't like. I like soccer and I like a lot of the games, but I don't watch it as much. But I also don't like FIFA or all those types of big events because they do more damage to the cities they're hosted in than good. And it's not the fans; it's just the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And also anything I'm trying to film. Like, that's just my personal chip on that.
There's some bias there, I'm sensing.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit.
There's so many locations we lost because of FIFA and their damn security.
Of course.
It's like, get out of our shot. We can't leave from here. We have our permit. We can't leave from here.
We have a soccer team here, and I think soccer culture just annoys me. Maybe I like to drink. Well, I used to. I like to go to events and be loud, but I don't want to watch the game. I could never marry a woman who's into sports like that. It just wouldn't be right.
I could marry a hockey fan woman because they're rough.
That just comes by default. You're Canadian. I don't want to hear that. I'd prefer to marry somebody who's attractive. No shit. Right?
Yeah. I want someone who knows how to throw a right hook.
Well, marry a lady from around here, dude. She will whoop your ass for free.
I don't want my ass whooped. I just want to make sure that if my hands are full, she can at least throw down.
Then stay away from the Cincinnati women. They're ratchet.
Tossing elbows and stuff. Grabbing hair.
The crime that goes on around here now is ridiculous because our city they elected a shithead mayor. And he is kind of like the mayor of New York City, where he's just soft on everything. His name's Aftab Purvale. He is not a good politician. I did not vote for that man. I did not vote for the mayor of Cincinnati. Yeah. Dude, our police chief was a joke. Like, all these stupid people had these signs, I stand with her. It's like, no, you fucking don't. Like, our city's a mess. I'll look at. We need like Batman in Cincinnati right now to whoop some ass. Like, if I didn't care, I would dress up as a vigilante and I would whoop some ass at night. And then people would be afraid of this giant dude that comes out of the shadows.
I was going to say, you're tall as crap, so you'd probably be able to get away with it.
Yeah, but I don't have Kevlar because everybody's packing in Cincinnati.
Oh.
You know, they always say, like, what about gun control? These people find a way. Like, it's
life will find a way.
Put it like this. Every stereotype you read about on the internet exists here. And so when people say, like, oh, these things are so offensive, I go, are they? Because that's my reality. And in every way, it's just like, oh, I can't believe that. I do because I see it all the fucking time. A kid got killed at Chipotle the other day.
Like, jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's
killed a Chipotle over some like mid-ass Tex-Mex.
He was killed in front of Chipotle. I don't think the food had anything to do with it, Andrew. For legal reasons, we like Chipotle. Actually, I like their food.
Their food's fine, but it's Tex-Mex, so I'm like, I prefer like actual Mexican food.
Oh, I don't even look at Chipotle as like a real good meal. I look at it as you're eating fast food, right? What is the best alternative? Like, I don't want a Big Mac and I don't want a Whopper, but Chipotle's got some nutritional value if you don't pour sour cream all over it. So,
fair enough.
It's tasty.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, to me, it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's just sustenance for now. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Goku says, sorry about the typo. I meant the movie where Sam Neill was ScarJo's father, and seeing the current state of the World Cup, Vince would book it better than Infantino. Vince McMahon knew how to book. I don't care what anybody says about his proclivities. The dude did know how to book at some point in time. So I'm with you on that one. I hope he lives longer. I don't really know what else to say about Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I watched him do some dumb shit on wrestling the other day. Goku McDuck also says, for me, the two movies that changed filmmaking are Jurassic Park and The Matrix. I agree with that statement. After them, many movies took influence. Dr. Grant is among my heroes.
Well, yeah, I mean, freaking ILM and Stan Winston changed animatronics and costuming, right?
Now, I would like to throw one counterpoint. Because Jurassic Park made more money, I think it always gets the nod, but I think Terminator 2 deserves just as much credit for all of those achievements in filmmaking, because the T-1000 is a fully digital character that still holds up. The animatronics and the work is every bit as good, and it's photorealistic at times in terms of like
I absolutely agree with that.
Puppets. So I wasn't saying to like cut you down, but I think that like when we talk about the 90s and like what's really important, I do think T2 deserves the nod. Not just because I watched it the other day.
T2 and Jurassic Park definitely redefined like what you can do with special effects. The Matrix didn't do much when it comes to special effects, but the influence was basically how people would shoot things. There, like, I mean,
it was more cinematography stuff that was changed.
Parodies copied that bullet time thing from which I think it was also copied from a video game. Yeah, so it was like
Scary Movie had it right away.
Yeah,
following summer.
So did Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Like it's
just the same year.
The same year, yeah.
Max Payne took the bullet time thing, right?
Like, yeah.
No, Max Payne I think did it first.
No, Matrix is before Max Payne.
Yeah, I think Matrix 1 came out before the first Max Payne.
Which there's a video game that did bullet time first, and Warner Brothers tried to sue them, and then they found out that they had the trademark and then called it back.
Oh, whoops! We didn't mean it.
Yeah,
just go ahead.
Our bad.
Warner Brothers like, yep, sorry. What we just oh look, there's a trademark. Oh look, a penny over here. Let's just turn around and
eat a dick, corpos.
Yeah. So Goku makes a great point though. So Jurassic Park and Matrix changed filmmaking. Let's move forward. What other movies after Matrix do you think defined filmmaking? Because I think it's a law of diminishing returns. Because you could say like, well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe perfected crossovers. Did it though? Because Kevin Smith had crossovers before. Universal Monsters had crossovers before. Like it did it. It made more money, but I would think it changed filmmaking in a good way.
So I think the MCU does, at least the first 3 phases, does deserve to be credited for doing something relatively unprecedented, right? Like on such a scale And for as long running as they managed to get that sucker going, and having banger after banger, at least in terms of box office, in terms of how, critics or fans received it, whatever, it doesn't matter. They kept showing up because the box office was showing that they kept showing up for a very long, extended period of time. You don't see that. There's sequel burnout is a thing, right? We see that with franchises all over the place. We saw that with Jurassic. We saw that with Terminator. We saw that with
And then at the first movie.
Underworld.
We saw that with just about any franchise that starts milking the sequel thing, right? The MCU managed to kind of circumvent that a bit by diversifying.
Yeah, I was just gonna get to that. So it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not the Iron Man franchise. It's not the Thor franchise. It's not Captain America. Those movies built the umbrella that became the MCU. And so now they're just Marvel films as opposed to Iron Man films. Like beforehand, you had Superman films, you had Batman films, we had Spider-Man films, we had Blade films, you had X-Men films. They didn't feel like they were more or contributors to other larger scale IP outside of the fandom that understood that. Wouldn't it be cool if we got Blade and Spider-Man in a crossover with the X-Men? Yeah, but that'll never happen because different studios and different things. And Marvel, the big thing that Marvel Studios managed to pull off was they managed to bring those characters together, and that changed filmmaking for Marvel and Disney. But no other studio has been able to replicate that in quite the same manner. And the other part too is there's no other studio out there that has the type of characters that could pull that off in the same way. Like even the Universal Monsters films, they tried twice to try and make those crossovers work and build up the IP, and it's failed each time. And I think it has to do with the fact that culture has shifted to not care so much about cinematic entertainment in the traditional sense of what it used to be. They're more into the viral marketing aspect of things, the shorter bits of the story, like stuff you see on Instagram or TikTok, and for lesser extent X. It's just the concept of fantasy and immersion seems to be getting further and further away from the younger generation until you get to that next little point, like where you see those people on YouTube who they're either over 30 or under 16, and they're watching classic films and are being blown away.
You actually touched on something there when you were talking about more or less like attention span, and in like time investment and how much you got to actually put your energy into really engaging with this stuff. There's a lot to be said for that, because if you look at now versus even when the first 2-3 phases of the MCU were coming out, we were younger. I mean, this is like a decade ago now at this point, right? Which is
the MCU is almost 20 years old, dude.
That's really uncomfortable to think about sometimes, unless you're, a healthy adult and you take care of yourself. But like, it can be a very sobering thought. But younger generations now, they're raised on YouTube shorts and TikTok videos and Instagram reels that are capped out at whatever, 3 minutes or something like that. And so they're not used to engaging with material in such a way that requires diving into it in a more long form manner, right? Like, we're all comic book fans here. We grew up with it. We're all born in the 80s, right? Despite the fact that Script likes to gaslight us and act like he was born in the 30s,
He was born in the 80s, the 1880s. He's immortal. That's why he likes Highlander
that's what it is.
so much, because it's his life story. He wrote it.
That's
He's
what
still
it is.
cashing the residual checks every month. That's where he gets his money from.
Oh, I am a prince of the universe, so yeah.
That must be it. That's why he's so frequently correct about things. But what I'm saying is, like, we're used to engaging with this stuff in a more long form, like true time investment manner that requires like getting into source material and being invested in something that requires, like, if you wanted to be invested in the MCU back in the day, you weren't just watching Thor 1, right? You were watching everything. most people at that point were watching everything. And now there was this generational shift where people are not really interested in that anymore. They don't care. The studios haven't really gotten the message yet because they're still trying to push forward with, the MCU, and Gunn is doing his Gundist to do the DCU. And you can look at the current comic book market as well, right? Like, we grew up where you had all this continuity to dive into. You had a lot to invest in time-wise and money-wise. Now you don't really see younger people engaging with it in the same way, with the exception right now, and time will tell how temporary or lasting that exception is, with the Absolute universe at DC, because that is bringing back a lot of readers that had stepped away, and it's bringing in new readers.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know some
time will
18-year-old
bear
actors.
out to see whether or not that actually holds. I hope it does, because I'd like to see the comic book market thrive and people just be more interested in the medium in general. Because I think if there's more interest in the medium, then that means there's more interest in people who are potentially willing to check out indie stuff.
Yeah, it benefits us.
Like woke buckers.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, ideally it'll cross over. As I was saying, like, I know a couple of 18-year-old actors that they got into comics because of the Absolute series.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh man, wait till you get some back issues of stuff from the 60s all the way up to like the late 90s. You're going to be blown away by some of this stuff. And I mean, it's interesting. I think it just has to do, like, one thing I'm worried about with the Absolute series is if it goes the way of like the extreme thing that was a big part at the turn of the century, like where it just gets too much to the point where like, okay,
extreme
now you're
Marvel,
kind of like now you're like just a trope now. You're becoming a trope now as opposed to something experimental and fun and playing around with the idea.
I can understand that worry, and I'm probably there with you at some level. But just based on at least the 4 Absolute titles that I'm currently reading monthly, I don't think that's going to happen, at least not yet. I don't see that happening right now, because each writer of the Absolute titles is handling things kind of in their own way. So it doesn't feel like they're just trying to take the most extreme route of whatever they're doing. But I guess it's always a possibility.
I got to pick up more Absolute Batman. I bought the first trade on a vacation, and I read it on the plane. I was like, this is awesome. And
it's just fun.
Yeah, and I see the people online bitch about it, and I don't care about certain complaints anymore. I thought that book was awesome. And
is the book engaging? Did it entertain you? Like that? At the end of the day, that if it does both of those things, it does more than most comic books these days.
There was only one problem with that book. I got to the halfway point. I said, how many issues are left in this? I'm really into the story. Like, it was one of those books where I was like, damn it, don't end. Don't end. Shit, I want this to go on. And now I'm like, I guess there's probably, 3 volumes of trades out right now?
The third trade will be coming out in a month, I think.
Well, then next time I will pick up the second trade, because...
Yeah, the second one is at least out because I have both of the hardcovers behind me.
I just... That's the only Batman story I've dug in many years. Because I tried to do Rebirth. I try to give DC the benefit of the doubt. Like when the New 52 came out, my buddy Joel and I, we broke it down. He bought a certain portion of the books and I bought the other portion, and we got our own crossover. Like, obviously we both want our own copies of Batman and shit. But what we did is it was like, oh, I'm reading Justice League of America, I'm reading Static Shock, and we would go to his house and we just read all the books. So we had the entirety of the New 52 line between us, and we were like trying to check it all out. And then it just kind of shit the bed fairly quick. Well, not fairly quick. Superman was always pretty bad. I couldn't get into the Justice League either, but the Batman was good. I just want more. I want more reasons to go to the store.
I actually am subscribed to Scott Snyder's Substack, and I take his comic book writing class for that. And he wrote the New 52 Batman, which, like, at least the first half of it was like incredible. The second half is hit or miss with a lot of people.
0 years unreadable.
He was he was taking some swings. It's like, all right, let's try this. And I can respect taking big swings as long as you understand, like, sometimes those big swings are going to result in you knocked it over the fences, and sometimes you whiffed it really hard, and that just, I respect that more than just kind of going with the really safe route, like a Ryan North, who will give you like the most, or a Jed McKay, who will give you the most safe, like, no consequence story possible, where it's like, so in 6 issues, this doesn't matter because there's no consequences. There's nothing going on really of consequence here. But he wrote that, and he's writing Absolute Batman. So there's a lot to be gleaned from that. He's written issues that I don't like, and he's written issues that I respect the absolute crap out of. So it's really interesting to hear his classes.
Maybe one day we'll check that kind of stuff out. When it comes to comic book writing and stuff like that, I just kind of write everything like a movie. I'm trying to think cinematically.
Yeah, and that's probably why your work is pretty cinematic.
Well, I just like one story like that. I don't think it's a daunting task, but like I have ideas for superheroes, but the story ends in one book. I came up with something the other day, and I was like, oh, this thing is kind of cool. And I just kind of played it out in my head, and it came to the natural conclusion. I went, that would be it. Like, I might just do my anthology branding and just tell stories as one-offs and never, go back to them. Like, oh, this vigilante guy created. Cool. Well, his story's over. On to the next one. I'm too influenced by the Twilight Zone for my own good. But, it is what it is. Goku, thank you for all your messages tonight, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support of everybody. All you guys showing up, hitting that thumbs up button can help us out. That would be greatly appreciated as well. So let's see. We pretty much covered the Lord of the Rings. All these states are trying to block the Warner Brothers Paramount deal script. Do you think it's going to ever go through?
I think it's likely to go through. I don't want it to, but it's likely. Yeah. I mean, right now there's not really much anyone can really do. If the government's going to allow consolidation, then yeah, that's going to happen.
I'm usually against anything that further consolidates and monopolizes things, just as a general rule. But
yeah,
what's going to happen is going to happen.
I look at it like this: when Disney bought Fox, it wasn't good for us.
No, it was not.
It's going to be the same thing with that, and eventually, one day, some company's going to try to own everything. And there's just one problem that they don't realize. Everybody has a breaking point. A lot of people have breaking points with PlayStation. A lot of people have breaking points with Disney and Marvel and certain things that actors say. That's a breaking point for them. Me, somebody who does love my entertainment, what'll happen is, let's say this merger goes down and I don't like it. To buy certain movies, I might get back catalog used copies or stuff like that. Like, I can enjoy all this shit without paying money. Kind of like how I do Star Wars stuff, I went to the Half Price bookstore and picked up, the Hutt Gambit or some bullshit. Disney didn't see a dime of that purchase. So I'm going to be taking my stance in the future where I will consume things, but I won't directly support it because I just don't like the idea, because it never works out for us. It's like all these companies got greedy at once. Like, I don't know if it's post-pandemic or something else is happening that we don't know about, and there's something coming down the pipe real soon. But it's like all video game companies have become shitheads. All entertainment companies have become shitheads. Tech companies are unbearable. The AI people are unbearable. Like, everybody is anti-consumer at once. Grocery stores were getting ridiculous and out of hand. They had an excuse. Oh, we got this war and all this stuff. We're going to jack up prices. Why is it that a 12-pack of pop is $10? And you got to buy 3 to get them for the price of like normal prices. Like, everything just shit the bed since, I don't know, like 2022, the world's gotten really greedy. And I hate to say it so bluntly and rude, but fuck them all. I'm done with this shit. I'll make my own entertainment. I'll enjoy my own stuff. And I don't like what they produce, because what they produce is Supergirl. What they produce is hollow crap. If Stranger Things season 5, like, it's just recognizability is what Hollywood thinks is enough. And they're going to dig up every old shit. Like, look, I about threw my phone across the room when I saw they're remaking A Nightmare on Elm Street again. This is the 3rd time they're telling the same story, and it will readapt the Wes Craven script. What the hell can you tell now that you couldn't tell in 1984? The only difference is the kids will be black and Asian and Hispanic and something else because they're all white in the original and they're all white in the remake, and that's a problem. They think they're going to make diversity money on Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, but they all have to die, which just means that there's very egalitarian. That doesn't matter your race, color, or creed. You are a victim of Freddy Krueger, but I don't think they're going to see it that way. And what you're preaching right now is the fact that the corporatization and the business mindset of marketing has superseded the creative aspect of, entertainment.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to say. And it just frustrates me, man, because I'll just speak for all of us, but we're getting deeper into our crafts. I know you've worked in it for a long time. We've all done this stuff before, but it's like, I feel like we're all on the same wavelength where we're getting deeper and getting more unique and coming up with better stuff. And it's like the quote unquote competition, which has more eyes, is like the movie Ass and Idiocracy. It's just basic and dumb.
Yeah.
Isn't Obsession, the movie that made all this money, quite similar to something else? Like, it's not that original. I got to look into it, but I saw
it's the monkey's paw, essentially.
And that movie came out last year, The Monkey.
But I mean, it's a common trope of a Faustian bargain of sorts, like where the wish that you want has far more consequences.
Yeah,
to not
the wish off a monkey's
people around you, goes on. I thought Obsession was quite decent, but I see that the director's making a mistake by using Obsession to help co-market his new movie, which is not a sequel but takes place in the same universe. And it's like that's an indie filmmaker's mistake. Like, don't try to use the success of the first one because of it being the first one to make people want to see your other movie. Just say, like, I'm the director of this other movie. I've come up with something that's different, and you don't need to have that inside baseball, connection to the product. I mean,
sometimes you have something that is a one-hit wonder, and then take what you learned from that and make something else that is also in a vacuum, its own thing, a one hit. And that's all you need to do. Not everything needs to be a franchise. Like, they milked Saw to the bone, right?
That was a good one.
You're welcome. There's aren't they putting out a new Conjuring this year or next year? Which, I mean, I'm a sucker. That's my favorite horror franchise, universe. So I'm going to see it. But not everything needs to be that. Not everything needs to be a franchise. Yeah, just put out a good movie, and then by the merits of the quality of that movie, trust that people who enjoyed that will check out your other movie, as long as it's still something that is to that demographic. And if it's not to that demographic, guess what? They're not going to check it out.
Well, dude, I don't think sequels are inherently bad or ever a problem if they follow the sequel trope, let's say James Bond, or Indiana Jones, where it's not a rehash of the previous movie. It's another adventure with the same character. Because I literally never get tired of James Bond movies. I hate Daniel Craig, but if you're like, hey, we're bringing back Brosnan, or we got a new dude that's cool, and we're going to put him out all the time. New adventures, new globe-trotting shit.
Old man Bond with Pierce Brosnan, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
I've been talking about that on the show for over a decade. I want that movie, and here's the difference, though.
It would probably still slap.
Here's what I want, though. I want him to walk away off into the sunset like Indiana Jones did in The Last Crusade. I want to watch James Bond die. I don't want to watch a commentary on age.
No, nobody wants to watch that.
I want to see an old... Look, I know this isn't a popular movie, but Die Hard 4 did it right. Because they took an analog man and John McClane and made him the hero in the digital world, and he still won with the old ways, the old tactics.
Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard was fantastic.
I like it more than Part 2. And
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant was an awesome shithead villain.
Yeah.
Was it Justin Long?
Justin
was
Long,
he was a fun character. His chemistry with Bruce was great. That was just a fun movie. It was a good movie. My dad and I saw that in theaters. And that was the first Die Hard I saw in a theater, right?
Same.
And my dad had seen the first 3 in theaters, and we just had a good time. It was like, man, this is fun. This is a good movie.
I remember buying it on DVD at Kroger. I was checking out one day. I'm like, oh, it's unrated. Let's get it. And I just bought it. I never bought a movie at Kroger before.
But and my dad historically is like hypercritical of sequels. Like if my dad says, the first one was the best one, who cares? Like that's just kind of his default thing. Like doesn't care about the sequels for most movies. There's only a couple of exceptions.
You know what movie that I'm actually going back on my ranking, because I used to look at it, and I know this is going to hurt some people. I used to think Spider-Man 2 was the best one. I actually think the first one might be the best one. Not
Welcome
because... Okay, here's my thing, though. Mine's probably for a different reason than yours. Mine's a technical reason. That movie is shot on film. Spider-Man 2, I'm almost positive, is digital as well as 3. It looks flatter. I was rewatching the first one on 4K. That movie has so much depth and color in... It's like just engaging to watch in a different way. Plus, it's like Batman 89, where the filmmakers are like, hey, we're putting it all in on this one. And if we never make another one, this movie stands on its own. It works. The Goblin's better than Doc Ock. The jokes are better in the first one. I think Jameson's better in the second one, but Mary Jane sucks equally in both.
Mary Jane sucks across all three. Okay, we'll just get that out there. Like Kirsten Dunst is cute. She's a good actress in other things. She had zero chemistry with Tobey Maguire. She's an absolute garbage tier MJ. All right, can we just get that out there?
I mean, she's unrecognizable as an MJ in those movies. Like, I don't know who that character is.
She's not Mary Jane. She's plain Jane.
Well, here's the thing, though. Spider-Man movies always have this problem because it's either her or Shailene Woodley or Zendaya. They get the it girl of the moment. They put them in a Spider-Man movie to appeal to the female audience, and they always sap the energy.
Yeah, because they're popular in the rom-coms at the time.
Yeah, it's like Zendaya has one expression. That's going to be in Spider-Man and The Odyssey and Dune all this year. Great. The face that launched 1,000 franchises.
Is she like the Pedro Pascal now of movies?
They're pushing her in everything right now, and she's like, I liked her well enough in The Greatest Showman, but like in literally anything else, she just tends to play an unlikable character.
That's the trope, though, with all of these. Okay, not all of them, but I found this in Supergirl, too. A lot of strong female characters are just written to be unlikable, and they think that because they're like guys, that makes them strong. But that's not the right way. Like, Ripley isn't unlikable. Princess Leia's not unlikable.
Ripley's
Lois
fantastic.
Lane is not unlikable. But for God's sake,
that strong character isn't from the physical strength of the characters, from the decisions they make in the story.
Yeah. When the chips are down, do they do the right thing? Or, or they Nurse Ratchet, where you're a real evil piece of shit.
God.
I love that movie so much.
That's
I've only
such
seen
a
it a
good
couple
movie.
times, but it's good.
Gosh, when is Brand New Day coming out?
I bought tickets for it. I'll see it that Wednesday.
Weeks?
I haven't yet. Is it the 29th? I gotta check my local.
Well, you look it up real quick. I want to say this.
I'm
getting worried though that my taste in film is getting like more pretentious and filmy because like I almost bought a copy of Mean Streets and what was this Lee Marvin movie, and I'm like really excited to watch these movies that I kind of know about more than I am like Spider-Man. I don't know.
Well, I don't think that's pretension. I think that's just the fact that you're looking for something that's got depth to it. I mean, the Spider-Man films with Tom Holland, you know, they do vary in quality, but they are churned out quite.
I hate every single one of them, with the exception of the third act of No Way Home, and that's only because Toby and Andrew are in it.
The only thing the Tom Holland franchise has going for me is that the costume looks like Spider-Man. It's not
the new costume looks really good.
Yeah,
I'll give him
actually
that.
On the hunt looking for that figure because I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh, people are bitching online. It's too dark blue. I don't give a shit. I'll add it to the. I literally have a figure from every Spider-Man movie, including the Andrew Garfield ones, Andrew. So they're all represented here in this house. They always will be. I want to be pumped for this movie, but based on all the marketing and the social media stuff, I think I'm either aged out or I'm not dumb enough for this movie. I can't get myself hype, bro, for the fucking tarantula because I read this shit. I didn't just go on Wikipedia and go, oh man, I'm so excited. It's like, good, be excited if you're genuinely excited. I know the story. It's like the Odyssey. I know the outcome. I know how it goes.
Right. It's the same cast too.
I read the Odyssey when I was in 4th grade. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm going to watch that NBC one when I get off the show tonight. I'm going to put it on the TV in the other room.
I'll rewatch the Wishbone one. It's better.
Dude, what's this? I love Wishbone. I used to watch it every day.
I watched the
Great
crap out
show
of
to
Wishbone,
kind of
man.
like get a taste of some classic literature.
So one thing, this will be my last big point I make, and we'll wind things down and do whatever we're doing. If we're still talking, that's fine. You know, Andrew and Script, we're roughly the same age, even though you're born in the 1880s. You just jumped over a couple centuries. So
He's a vampire, and so he looks like he was born in the 1980s.
But I think you and I, all three of us, excuse me, we were born in this weird window where we basically were either privy to the first of something important or the best version of something consistently over and over. And so our baseline is like very uncommon. I was watching a YouTube video where somebody was asking why the 90s was so great for kids. And it was talking about how it was the first decade where they marketed to children. Movies were meant to appeal to kids. Like they would have kid roles in adult movies that would be a bigger focus, and they gave examples. And I was like, yeah, that's true. But I think it goes even further because, like, you know, we're growing up in the 16-bit era of gaming where they really refined the side scroller, and there were so many great classics. Mm-hmm. And then we're there for the introduction of 3D and
interactive
online
media.
Yeah. But like, and then the thing is, like, in our lifetime, we've watched it from its 8-bit form up until its final form, and now it can't do anything else. Like with movies. Yeah, and the same with movie. Like, let's just use home video. You know, we're growing up on videotapes. They suck ass. The DVDs are slightly better. Now I got a disc that looks like I'm in the room with James Woods. What else is there? I think a lot of my complaints and concerns in general are like, we've reached the mountaintop on almost everything I like. Toys can't get much better unless you start putting like rubber skin on them, and some of them have that already. Gaming. What else?
Hot toys.
Do? Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I don't have a hot toy.
That's one of the weird aspects of, at least on the entertainment side of things, is that there is a threshold. Like when it comes to invention, technology, and exploration, there's a lot less limitations that can be looked at and not seen as something to overcome. But with story and with entertainment media, it's dictated by our imagination, and that gives us great avenues to explore different things. But how we deliver that right now, and unless we get something beamed into your brain, like, you know, horrible commercial ads from like Transmetropolitan or something, there's not going to be much other media we can enjoy short of like bringing to life an interactive hard light hologram.
Right. Well, like going into like, you know, your dot hack, your Matrix, your Sword Art Online, that type of thing, right? Where you're interfacing with like, and I'm sorry, I don't want anything getting plugged into the back of my head.
Right.
I'm good.
Me neither.
I've seen the Matrix. I'm not a battery.
I also like, I tried the VR stuff. When I was a GameStop store manager, I got a free PlayStation VR headset, right?
Nice.
I tried it out for a little bit. Like, it was kind of cool playing Gran Turismo and being able to like actually drive my actual car on tracks that I'll probably never see in my lifetime, right? In Europe and things like that. But it like hurt my head. It gave me a headache afterwards because there's this like dissonance between like your the game is trying to tell you that this thing is actually right here, but your brain is saying no, it's not, and so there's this conflict.
It's because your body isn't moving and everything around you is.
Yeah.
And your brain doesn't compute that because it's so used to the fact that even when you're in a car or in a plane or any other vehicle, you're moving, it recognizes that you're in motion. But when you put on a headset and things are moving around you, your body's like, no, this is not right. And it's way different than when you're looking at a screen or in a video game where something's moving because that's you from the outside looking into a 3D environment.
Correct.
Whereas now you're
trying to simulate
surrounded by a 3D environment, and it's just like, no, this is not right. Like even those virtual game rooms that they used to have, where you put on the meta goggles or whatever it was, and you could go shoot around in a place.
Yeah,
like those came and went pretty quick because people were like, it's not as immersive, and there's something off about it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know
we're not quite at the Matrix yet?
I almost bought retail space in the metaverse, but I didn't because I'm not an idiot. Everything with that was dumb. Like, you remember when they would take the immersive stuff and it was just people on the was it Good Morning America? They're just sitting there talking. They're like, look what I can do. And they can wave, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that technology is just dumb. Like, and they keep trying it every couple decades. Remember how they had, like Sega Genesis had one. Didn't really, it's Sega Genesis, so whatever. But
dude, the NES did.
I just don't like that, man. I'm old school. I want the biggest, best, brightest, perfect TV or projector, whatever. I want to feel like when I'm watching an old movie, I want to feel like I'm in the room. I was looking at something today about the remaster of Star Wars, and I was like, oh man, these screenshots look like I'm there. Can't wait. And I want the TV. I want to experience it, and I want to put it down. I don't want to be in it. I don't want to escape. Like, I like my life. When I play Gears of War, I'm not playing it to escape. I'm playing it to kill 20 minutes because I
was going to say, Gears. The world of Gears of War isn't exactly what I'd want to escape to either.
There's literally no video game world that appeals to me. Sarah's, dude, I'm with you 100%. But like, okay, everyone's like, I'd love to explore Hyrule. No, the fuck I wouldn't. You got monsters coming out of the ground, those jelly things, that giant Hinox. I don't want to interact with that in real life. But, if I can make Link flap into the air and shoot in the eyeball and save the day, I'm happy. I don't know. I guess I like that line of demarcation for how I consume my entertainment. I don't need to feel like I'm in it. Even with movies,
having that delineating line between reality and the entertainment, I think that's important. Maybe we'll reach a point technologically where it is kind of like, hopefully without having to put a freaking horse needle that's 3 inches wide into the back and base of your skull, like the Matrix or whatever. Maybe that'll be a thing in the future. Who knows? But cyberpunk type stuff seems far more realistic than it did 10 years ago these days. But we'll see. As it stands, I'm with you. I'm good with, all right, I'm gonna boot up the TV, I'm gonna play a game, I'm gonna watch a movie, and then I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna go write. Or I'm going to edit one of the million things I gotta edit. Or anything else. Literally anything else.
You know what I'm doing nowadays when I have some free time? Learning how to paint. Because I accidentally kept subscribing to that 21 Draw app, and they wouldn't give me my money back. And I'm like, well,
no.
I'm actually gonna. It's been 3 years. It's my own fault. But
okay,
I can't complain. No. They're not the bad guy here. It's me. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna learn. So I started these things on how to, because I like outsourcing my covers and color and stuff because it's it makes the process faster. But I would like to know how to paint my own covers because I got some ideas, and it would be, I don't know, more satisfying to be able to do it myself.
There's a lot to be said about learning a thing, at least as much as you can, or as much as is reasonable, yourself, even if you end up outsourcing or paying or whatever somebody else to handle something, because that gives you a greater level of insight and critical eye in terms of whether or not maybe that person's taking shortcuts or whether they're doing it correctly. Any number of things. The more you learn about a thing firsthand, the better you are going to be dealing with it secondhand.
Oh, I agree. Sorry, I was just looking at the horse care ad in the comments. Sorry, it threw me off.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that when I saw that.
That's why it's fun, because you respond.
Yeah.
Dude, it all listens to everything we say, so I'm not
like in Google. Well, Gemini's just baked into anything Google now at this point.
It sucks because it still doesn't send me the stuff that I'm like, I need this item, and it never exists. Like, I need a special wall hook that can actually turn on my light switch whenever I put something on it. Never do I get advertised, for that.
But do you want to sign up for an Uber Eats account? That's what you'll get an ad for.
But I will say, I'm making that wall hook. So every time I hang my hat or coat on it, it'll automatically turn on the light for me.
Now, are you going to throw your hat across the room like James Bond? Perfect.
Oh, I always do.
No.
This is my girlfriend.
Throw the hat like Jay Garrick. That's what you do.
I've never read a Flash comic with him in it. Does he throw his hat?
Yes, actually. Yes, he does.
Fast.
He throws his hat like Captain America throws his shield.
So when is he getting a film?
Dope. He's probably not.
Might get an HBO Max series.
The fact of the matter is Barry is the one that they continually go back to. No, he's the one that they constantly put in all the media.
He's the best one. Design-wise. That Flash costume is perfect, man. The one Infantino designed, you didn't change
it was perfect and then made slightly more perfect by Mike Wieringo in the 90s. And
what does
it
he
required
change, though?
He just makes the lightning bolt belt and armbands slightly more angular, and Wally had the white-out eyes.
Okay, so I'll give the white-out eyes. The only reason I'm asking is because, like, I'm really particular when somebody's like, I like Spider-Man when he wears the McFarlane costume. I go, he's not wearing a McFarlane costume. Anytime you're reading...
No, McFarlane just draws it a specific way.
Yeah, anytime you're reading those books, it's not that it changes design. It's just how the person draws it. So it's the same thing. Like that red and blue suit, unless it's got the armpits or not, it's supposed to be the same thing always. And so that's why I was asking about the Flash stuff, because I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just because Mike Wieringo's a great artist. But no, he adds more shit. I know the design you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like anything Wieringo drew. He was one of my favorites. That's an artist I'm sad passed away.
I grew up with him. He was my Flash artist. So he's still to this day one of my top 3 Flash artists. My first favorite was actually probably Oscar Jimenez, though.
I think I like his work, Wieringo's work, on either Fantastic Four or anything he did. He did a lot of Spider-Man.
He did do some F4. Yeah, he did do some F4.
I feel like he was just starting to he was already established and been around for a while, but like as he passed away, he was like getting really hot. You know, you see all this shit in Wizard. I was getting pumped to buy stuff that I didn't even like because he was on the art, and then he passes away. And I'm like, oh shit. So, but I do like to look at his stuff all the time still. So let's start to close up shop. But the Odyssey, it says it's going to make $200 million. I'm not going to contribute, but all right. You think it's going to be $1 billion picture at the end of the day?
I don't know about that.
The thing is, people that, for whatever reason, whether misguided or not, love all of Nolan's stuff, they'll show up.
I mean, I think Greece is boycotting the movie, like the entire country.
Oh, good.
That's amazing. They're like, what are you doing to one of our classics?
Well, Egypt's got that thing. Remember when they tried to make that Netflix documentary with the lady that's like, I don't care what you say in school. My grandma says Cleopatra was black. Like Africa or Egypt got pissed at that and was like, I think they have a thing where you're not allowed to change their history. Like, so maybe Greece is pissed off too. I would like if we kept things historical, because I heard the argument, well, how come the old period pieces, everyone's British? Well, it's kind of like a play, on film where it's like Shakespeare. They were all dudes originally. They didn't have female players on the stage. I don't want that, but like, I don't mind. I kind of look at a British accent as the coverall, where it's like, it works. Like it works for the bad guys in Star Wars. It works for period pieces. There's a level of class to it, as long as it's not like a Cockney accent or modern day London where you can't understand what they say. The chat says it's going to make $500 million. Some say it's not going to be profitable. I agree, Tenet sucked. We'll find out. Dion will probably go see it on Thursday, and we're not going to review it because he's going to like it. So there's your review. But the rest, the WCBS show will be about a part 2. It's our first part 2 episode in at least years, but I think ever. But so join us this week, folks, on Thursday for episode 496.5 on our way to 500. Episode 500 should be very special. We're going to have some surprises along the way. Now, tonight I dropped the video. Check it out. It's about Spaceballs 2. Not a complaint. I like Spaceballs. Love it, actually. Hopefully the new one doesn't fall into the trap, but I'd like to know what you guys think about it, so get in on the conversation. Also, too, tomorrow is the 10-year anniversary of Ghostbusters 2016. On Friday, I should have the video ready. I told somebody this. I don't know if I told you guys. When I was recording the video, I used AI to aggregate a bunch of articles to tell me like what it was saying at the time, because it was like 47 articles. It would not talk badly about Ghostbusters 2016, and I thought it was kind of weird. So I asked it to do the same thing about Citizen Vigilante, and it did it. I have screenshots in this video.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's programmed to be biased because of certain things. They're like,
of course,
you're not allowed to say this.
Somebody's programming it, right?
Yeah, well, The person programming AI is a fucking idiot. I hope you hear this. That's to you. AI, go away. I know I'm part of the problem, but like, maybe I don't want to read 47 articles. Maybe I need help with a contract every once in a while. So, stuff like that. But anything else you guys want to say? Because I am very tired.
No, I concur. I'm also very tired, and fortunately, because of
at least you finally
and...
ate after 48 hours. Jesus.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I have some weight to get rid of, so this helps.
There are healthy ways to do that.
Yeah, fasting's a healthy way to do that.
Yeah.
Intermittent
fasting is far healthier.
Yeah, I mean, I did eat, so that's an intermittent. I'm just not going to go without food for another 48 hours unless I get whisked away again.
You're killing me.
No, hunger's killing him. Oh, but yeah, Script, take care of yourself. Andrew, take care of yourself too. Folks, make sure you check out all the world-class content we put out on the channel and be on the lookout for some new stuff that I keep talking about. It's been taking me a little while to get it together, but we got the books out. We got new books in production. We got all kinds of stuff. So if you like what I do here on the channel, check me out over on stealingsolo.com. There's more than just Stealing Solo. And in the future, I'm going to add a little tab. I've been getting emails about original art. So if you guys really want to buy something, I can do sketches and shit on the website. So I'll figure out how to do that. And I'll even offer, hold on, our friend Rod Thunderheart. Thank you very much, Rod Thunderheart. He says, "Hail WCBS Script Doctor. We got to chat soon. Mm-hmm. I have never disliked a Nolan film. I'm blind to Tenet, so I can't comment. As a writer, it angers me when directors and writers refuse historical accuracy on some level." What do you guys think about that? I was looking for See Through Love to promote it.
I mean, I'm so behind on some articles that I've been getting ready for my Patreon because of work. But one of the ones I'm working on is like how you could be a better filmmaker than Christopher Nolan.
I feel like that's a really long list.
There's some simple things to do in order to get yourself in a better position. The only thing I can't teach you is how to market yourself like Christopher Nolan to get the studios to be interested in you.
He does manage to do that very well, and I'll give him this. Like, I know there are people in the YouTube chat saying that the trailer looked boring and whatever, and I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not going to see the movie because I don't have interest in it. Because I've seen enough adaptations of the Odyssey. Again, you're not touching Wishbone, Nolan. I'm sorry. So you lost to a dog. You lost to a quadruped. But the trailer was shot well. I'll give it that much. I just like seeing the trailer and seeing the liberties he's taking with that epic. Not for me. I'm not a Nolan guy. I'm not a fanboy of any one writer or director or producer or whatever. And so just because one particular person is attached to a project doesn't automatically mean, at least in most cases, that I'm going to rush out to see it. There are exceptions, but it is seldom because it's a director. Like, I didn't rush out to see whatever Spielberg's latest film was. I forget what it was
dodged
called.
a bullet.
Yeah, like I love a lot of Spielberg's films, and then like the premise for this recent one, I didn't care. The
execution was horrible too.
It looks, the trailer, cinematography wise, it's probably going to be a pretty film, right?
Yeah, but I shouldn't laugh at the serious moments.
Yeah, well, there's that, right? Where you're like, wow, that's pretty ridiculous, right? Or if you're somebody who read Homer's The Odyssey, and have any level of familiarity with it, if like you feel like you want to freaking shoot yourself watching an adaptation of it, maybe it's not for you. Maybe they whiffed that one, which is something that Nolan is kind of known for. Like the way that he handles historical pieces should inform people of how he's probably going to handle a fictional piece that is part of history, right? He's going to take the same level of liberties, if not more so.
I will tell you this, though.
Not for me. Not interested.
It's been very interesting to listen because I've been watching a lot of videos on it, folks. I haven't made a single Odyssey video. I don't know what to say because do you really want to hear me for 12 minutes tell you why I don't like Christopher Nolan? Because I don't dislike him. I just don't love him.
It might trend on YouTube, you know.
Look,
I probably will. Nolan.
I normally follow that kind of stuff. I have no issue with it, but I've just been busy with other shit right now, and I'm like, I got to take care of this before I need to worry about making an Odyssey video or a PlayStation digital video. Like everybody's making those, and that's great, but we don't really benefit from video game content. We're more of a entertainment stuff. So I'm looking for a different angle to address it, folks, but it'll always be world class. So, Rod, I'm with you, man. I do want some kind of accuracy because there's a reason you're watching the story. I don't, unless you're going to take it to be like a, you remember in The Producers how they made it so over the top and bad? If you did like a historical,
that's parody
biopic,
practically.
Hey, but do a biopic like that where it's almost like a,
like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. That is a parody, but it takes so much from actual musical biopic films that it actually functions like a proper musical biopic film.
I did not enjoy that movie, though. I wish I did.
No, it's not a good movie. It's
terrible. I was so on the John C. Reilly train after like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights, and then I just didn't like Dewey Cox, but oh well, that's just me. But folks, we are running on fumes here. I'm sorry. I'd love to go longer, but I have cut out a lot of coffee in my day for intentional reasons, and so I'm back at a natural sleep cycle. I like it, but it is after midnight, so I need to get some rest. So from all of us here at WCBS, thank you for watching. I'll be back next time on Thursday with WCBS 496.5. Sounds like a radio station. And
you got to use your radio voice for that one, Jeff.
I'll do it the whole time, just like this. Play the hits on WCBS 496.5.
Got to record a whole video like that.
I could. It wouldn't be very hard. It's not the Rod Thunderheart voice is very hard to read and say. Like if I were to just cut
energy, it's hard to replicate that energy.
Yes, it is. It's hard to be like really amped up at 12:19 at night to say, Rod Thunderheart, you rule. Actually, folks, you all rule as well. So thank you for watching. I'm going to play you an old video outro that uses my crazy announcer voice. And I don't care if it's topical or it's actually an intro. But until then, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
Oh, God.
Last time on World Class B. After the massive success of WCBS episode 400, the guys are back and refreshed for a new season of the show. With the impending release of the highly anticipated Wokebusters about to drop, is Jeff ready to drop from exhaustion, or has his true power yet to be